The Northeast Vikings take a short ride south to try to knock off the unbeaten Dunham Tigers. It's Friday night. It's Louisiana high school football on YurView. Game time is next. Welcome to Baton Rouge for Week 8 of the high school football season. It's the YurView Louisiana Game of the Week as the undefeated Dunham Tigers, ranked number 3 in Class 2A, take on the Northeast Vikings, who made it to the quarterfinals in 2A last season under head football coach David Masterson. Hello, everyone. I'm Jeff Palermo along with Jason DeQuire. Thanks for starting your football weekend with us. Let's get the bad news out of the way right off the beginning. The nation's #1 player in high school football will not be playing tonight. Derek Stingley is out with a knee injury. He should be good to go for the regular season finale against Episcopal in 2 weeks. But still, this is a very good Dunham team. And Northeast is a squad that's coming off a bye week, and they got terrific skill position players.
Yeah, in addition to the Stingley injury, Dunham also has a couple other injuries, one at running back and offensive line. So, look, this Northeast team comes in a little down from where they're accustomed to being. But with these injuries at Dunham, this game could be a little bit closer than people are expecting. Of course, for Dunham, not having Stingley play offense and defense is a big blow. But I think we could have a good contest tonight.
And we got a lot of terrific players on the field. Even though Stingley's not playing, let's take a look at 2 of them tonight as we'll focus in on the respective quarterbacks for these 2 teams. Ryshawn Steele for Northeast and Reed Godberry for Dunham.
Yeah, Ryshawn Steele, big guy wearing #1, may remind you a little bit of Cam Newton, but they're going to need him tonight to get outside of the pocket and extend plays for this young offensive line. So they're really going to need him to have a big game. And then Reed Godberry, another big quarterback, can stand in the pocket and understands this Coach Weiner offensive system, runs it very efficiently.
So more on the Dunham Tigers. Let's bring in the 3rd member of our broadcast crew, Smacker Miles.
Guys, I'm sure it was hard to choose key players without the #1 defensive back prospect in the entire country. Seeing him on the sidelines tonight instead of on the field should create a little bit more of an exciting game as far as Dunham being really strong this year and Northeast having a little bit of a rebuilding year. This Dunham defense was only allowing 12 points a game. Here's what Coach Weiner had to say about how their game plan changes without Derek.
Obviously he's not featured, but we've got a lot of good players besides Derek. Reed does a great job through the course of the game, not just focusing, He doesn't have Stingley vision all the time, which I probably would if I was a quarterback. So, with Traylon Mouton running the football and Devin Taylor and Kobe Semien, Nicholas Cambius, we got a lot of other weapons as well.
And we'll see those weapons take the field here momentarily. It's Dunham versus Northeast, a district matchup. Game time coming up here on YurView.
Game time on YurView is brought to you by Louisiana Farm Bureau Insurance, ready to serve you with auto, homeowners, life insurance, and more. Real service, real people. West Feliciana Parish. The best place for you to live and work in South Louisiana is West Feliciana Parish. Check out wfparish.org. ITI Technical College, your key to a better life. And by Peak Performance. At Peak Performance Physical Therapy, we treat the athlete and everyone stronger, faster, better.
I think that people want to be in West Feliciana because it's truly one of the unique parts of Louisiana. That if you live in West Feliciana, you can have it all. You can have a great lifestyle, a government that works for you and is open and transparent. You can have wonderful neighbors. You can have a great school. You can live in an environment that's free of fear from crime. We're less than 20 minutes from the Baton Rouge airport, 30 minutes from the state capitol. What we have in West Feliciana is a place where you really can have it all.
When I get back to Baton Rouge, I get in my Bluesmobile and I drive right on down to Partner's Barbecue. And you know what I do? I get me some ribs, all tender too. Some baked beans, some potato salad, some smoked sausage. You got to come on down to Partner's Barbecue, yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Let's get to our keys to the game. First of all, for the Northeast Vikings, Jason, they got to establish some sort of a run game. They've really struggled with that with their inexperienced offensive line.
Yeah, they will, and they also have to, they want to make Godberry beat them. Of course, Dunham's had some really good rushing games here lately, and so they want to see Godberry really be more involved. And then, they want their defense to stay strong for 48 minutes. Talking to Coach Masterson, they haven't put 4 quarters together, and they need to do that on the defensive side. And then Dunham, they need to defend the deep ball. They've got some real good skilled players out there for Northeast and don't want to give them some big shots, and then protect the football, don't want to turn it over. And then, look, throw the schedule and the records out of the window. Don't take Northeast lightly. You got to give them some respect.
David Masterson is the head coach for the Northeast Vikings in his 19th season there at Northeast. They went 8-4 last year and lost in the quarterfinals, and they've been to the playoffs in 15 of the last 17 years. And Masterson's team will probably get in the playoffs again this year despite the losing record. Northeast will be kicking off to the Dunham Tigers. And again, no Derek Stingley in this contest, so we can't look forward to seeing him return this football. It's going to be Jordy Lara with the return here, and he gets up to about the 30-yard line. He's kind of pushing the pile forward up to the 32-yard line. And that was actually Devin Taylor on the return, a 20-yard return for the Dunham Tigers. And we'll see their offense here first, averaging 49 points a game. There's a good look at Reed Godberry, who was an all-district linebacker last season. Senior class president, obviously a smart kid, has thrown for over 1,300 yards. He spreads the football around and operates the offense very efficiently. Last week he was 8 of 14 for 104 yards and a touchdown. Godberry will throw on first down here, feels a little pressure, and down he goes. And that is Samuel Pryor, I believe, that made the tackle. There's a look at your starting lineups for the Dunham Tigers. Traylon Mouton is back after injury in his ankle in week 2. Nicholas Cambius, Devin Taylor, Kobe Semien. The tight end is Rhett Guidry. Then the offensive line, Grant Robel, Blocker Harrison, Jared Fontenot, Orrin Gleason, and Camden Holmes. On second down, to get a few yards there off the right side to the 36-yard line. That's Traylon Mouton on the carry, who's averaging 8 yards a carry, over 1,000 yards rushing last year, but again, missed much of the season because of an ankle injury. Let's take a look at Northeast starting lineup. Johnny Selders is a good one, really good pass rusher who's moved from linebacker. William Walker, Cortez Shepard, Samuel Pryor wearing number 31 tonight. Trevion Green. Quoshane Kelly averages 11 tackles a contest. DJ Taylor, Jacoby Junis had an interception return for a touchdown for 70 yards earlier this season. Pass is complete on third down, but it's short of a first down, and Neil Weiner's got a decision to make right off the bat in this game, as that was Nicholas Cambius on the catch, his 10th of the season.
Well, it looks like they're keeping the offense on the field, and sometimes you'll see teams try to draw them off, and we've even seen the quarterback will try to kick it from this position.
So on 4th down and 1, they will go for it, and they got the first down and more. Busted through the hole and getting across the 50-yard line is Traylon Mouton.
And that's the Dunham Tigers, first down.
Mouton, who's got 4.65 speed. We saw this kid last year against Central have a really good game, and he is hobbling off the field. They do not have Kalante Wilson in this contest. He was the guy that was filling in for Mouton when Mouton went down with an ankle injury. Well, now Wilson has an ankle injury. Godberry looking to throw, and the pressure in the backfield, and they bring him down. This Northeast defense is giving up 40 points a game, but they have been very good early on in contests. It's the depth that they lack. Not many players on this Northeast team trying to build the numbers back up is David Masterson, but this is a defense you don't want to fool around with, and they look to force a lot of turnovers. Look at that. They get in the backfield, and they shut down the Dunham running game right at the line of scrimmage. Cortez Shepard, a freshman on that defensive line, in on the tackle. And there's Quoshane Kelly, who is an all-district player. He was a defensive lineman last year, but they moved him to linebacker because they needed him in the middle of the field to make more tackles with a inexperienced nose tackle in Cortez Shepard. 3rd down and 9. Godberry will throw, and it's incomplete. Miscommunication with his receiver on the far side of the field. And now Dunham will punt as Northeast defense holds on the first possession of the game.
Well, and those 3rd down and longs are plays that you kind of miss Stingley. That's where you would typically be looking for him to go and pick it up, and there was a little miscommunication there between Godberry and Devin Taylor.
Reed Godberry will stay in the game. He is the punter for the Dunham Tigers. And Godberry's punt as he kicks it away from the returner, Jacent Scott, and the ball is going to be down at the 9-yard line, and that's where the Northeast Vikings will begin its first drive of the night.
Well, that was a good first defensive series there for Northeast, obviously forcing Dunham to punt it, coming in here a little bit as the underdog, and, you know, you're in your opponent's place and forcing them to punt the ball down there, backed up deep in their own territory. It is awfully close on that punt return, starting from the 38-yard line. It was awfully close on that punt return. Scott almost bumped that ball, and that could have been a costly turnover for Northeast.
Rashawn Steele is the quarterback for Northeast. He's big and strong. He's thrown for 1,100 yards, 11 touchdowns, and 9 interceptions on the season. Big kid back there. They'll look to run the ball, and that's what they wanted to do, is get some sort of a semblance of a running game, but they have really struggled to run the football this season. Let's take a look at our starting lineups. The offensive line is what I want to focus in on here. 5 sophomores starting on that offensive line, and only one of them had played football coming into this season, and that's Riley Bernard. But Jacent Scott, Jacoby Junis, and Jerome Thompson. Thompson's a freshman. He's going to be a good one. And Jacent Scott, he's an all-state player from a year ago. The receivers are really, really good. And here's a catch on the far side to Johnny Selders, and Selders has the first down as he is hit and knocked out of bounds by Jordan Roberson.
Well, here's where...
Let's take a look at the starting
Jeff,
lineups for defense. First of all, Rhett Guidry, he's the son of former LSU quarterback Mickey Guidry. Grant Ravel, B.J. Lewis, Isaiah Arsenault, Nick Swear makes a lot of tackles. Coben Leindecker, Connor Bound, who is the leading tackler, Jonte Williams, Ty Spurlock, Cruz Bridges, and then Kobe Semien. Spurlock, a really good basketball player, his first season playing football, and he's been a really good player for Neil Weiner. Randy Leindecker is the defensive coordinator for the Dunham Tigers as they have it 1st and 10 at the 20. Quick hitter on the run, and they get a few yards on that play. Running the football is B.J. Lewis.
Well, where I think Northeast may have an advantage tonight with Stingley out of the game, typically playing one of the corners. Johnny Selders, who you saw make the first completion, is a big physical wide receiver, and the question is going to be, can they get Johnny Selders the ball kind of in the open field and see if he can make some things happen out there on the edge for him.
Pickup of 3 yards. A little bit of confusion here for Northeast as they try to figure out where to line up correctly. Now, the play clock is 0, so obviously that's not working. Pass over the middle, actually over to the far side, and it's incomplete to Selders. But you see, Steele's got a pretty good arm.
Yeah, and this time he tried to just fit this one in the middle of that zone, right between the corner and the safety, and he fired it in there. It's just a little off target, and Selders wasn't able to come down with the ball. But you can see, if you just put it in the direction of Selders on that last play, he's got a big frame, and he can box out the defensive back and potentially pull those footballs down. Just need to be a little bit more accurate on the throw.
Alvin Stokes is the running back to the right of Steele. Play action fake. Steele feeling the pressure. Gets out of the pocket. Steele can run it here. He's a big boy coming down the field. Lunges for that first down marker, and he's got enough. He needed to get 7. He got 8 to the 31-yard line. Nice run there by Rashawn Steele.
Well, Jeff, our note said that he goes at about 215, Rashawn Steele, but I tell you what, when you see him coming at you on this play, I think that's a little light. This guy looks like he's closer to 220, 225, and he's a load.
So 2 first downs for Northeast on this opening drive for them as we approach the halfway point of the opening quarter. 5 wide receivers set here. Northeast averaging 23 points a game offensively, but again, they start a very young team. 6 sophomores and a freshman. Oh, a bad handle on the snap. It's on the ground, and I think Dunham's got it. A turnover there at the worst time for Northeast. They were starting to move the football here a little bit, and then they turn it over, not able to handle the snap. And the Tigers take it at the 25.
Yeah, when you're on the road, you cannot have this. You had a good first defensive series. The field does have some little potholes and things like that in there. It looked like Rashawn Steele lost his footing, but the ball was still snapped low, and then it just got down there in the scrum, and Dunham comes out with it. But a costly turnover after you did a good job on defense stopping this Dunham offense.
Great field position for Dunham at the 26-yard line of Northeast. Godberry looking to his right, under pressure right away. I thought he went down there, and he did, yep.
Yeah, well, let's see if they bring it back. It looked like, Jeff, I thought I saw his knee go down, and they do bring it back a couple of yards.
Samuel Pryor getting in the backfield really quick. He's one of their best pass rushers.
You see, yeah, left knee clearly goes down. Great work by the Cox camera crew there. But his left knee, and they backed it up to the right spot. Good call on the field by the officials.
Second down and about 13 now after the 3-yard loss to the 29. Godberry throws, and a nice catch and a big hit. And hanging on to the football was the receiver. But a major hit there delivered by Elijah Williams.
Yeah, I'm shocked that this didn't draw a flag here. This looked like it was pretty high into the head area, and that looked like a dangerous play there. And fortunately for Northeast that didn't draw a penalty.
Devin Taylor on the catch. He's got 29 receptions, and now what do we got, a flag on the far side? I think Northeast is lined up in the neutral zone. Well, a couple of unforced mistakes here by the Vikings. The fumble and then the 5-yard penalty for interference, or for offsides.
Repeat third down.
Our referee is Francis Guillory.
That makes it a first down.
And Dunham has a first down here.
And that's another Dunham Tiger. First down.
Ball at the 17. Godberry quickly gets rid of it, finds a man. And this is Kobe Semien, and Semien is into the end zone for a touchdown.
Well, when Dunham is running their offense well, they do everything in rhythm and they get the ball out quickly. This was a good job by Godberry getting the ball out very quickly into Semien's hand, and he had plenty of room to run. Watch just a quick slant, but watch how fast Godberry gets the ball out, hits his man in the open space there, and then Semien just does the rest, takes it in the end zone. Good quick strike there by Dunham.
Dunham takes advantage of the turnover. And now the field goal kicker, Evan Light, who has prosthetic legs. But this kid is a terrific athlete, straight ahead kicker, and Northeast is offsides.
Offside, Northeast.
Dead ball foul, encroachment on the defense, number 5. Half the distance to the goal, repeat the try.
Make it a little easier here for Evan Light. And the snap is down, and the kick is good, looking good. We'll have more on Evan Light, again, kicking with prosthetic legs. We'll be back after this to tell you about his story. Dunham is up early. This is Game Time on YurView.
Tonight's Game Time keys to the game are brought to you by West Feliciana Parish, where you really can have it all. The best place for you to live and work in South Louisiana is West Feliciana Parish. Check out wfparish.org.
Welcome to Monogram Express, a unique embroidery boutique specializing in personalized and one-of-a-kind gift ideas. Gifts for babies, children, ladies, and even men, we have you covered. Equipped with state-of-the-art embroidery machines, along with an experienced client-focused staff serving you 6 days a week. Check out the area's largest selection of letters, designs, and thread colors. We're your one-stop embroidery shop, handling personal, corporate, team, and school logos, and you're welcome to bring in your own items. Conveniently located at 2109 Veterans. Monogram Express makes your ordinary gifts extraordinary.
Tonight's Game Time starting lineups are brought to you by Peak Performance. At Peak Performance Physical Therapy, we treat the athlete in everyone. Stronger, faster, better. Choose Peak.
Good start for the Dunham Tigers without Derek Stingley tonight, who is out with a knee injury. Just a minor injury. If it was a playoff game, we'd probably see Derek Stingley out
there. No question.
There's the Ponda's barbecue scoring drive after the Northeast turnover. Evan Light has it teed up. Now, Dunham, for the most part, just does sky kicks, squib kicks, stuff like that. Try to recover the ball this way. And getting down there quickly for the Dunham Tigers is Devin Taylor to tackle the ball carrier.
Well, the key with those sky kicks and squib kicks is the return team has to position themselves accordingly. You can't let it hit the turf like that, because then that ball starts squibbing around and gives Dunham and their coverage team an opportunity to get down the field.
1st and 10 at the 27 now for Roshan Steele. Coach David Masterson told us when this kid is on, he is hotter than a firecracker. But when he is cold, he's colder than a snowy day in Canada. Wow, Rhett Gridry in the tackle in the backfield. No chance at all for that play to develop for Northeast.
No, and Rhett showing you a little swag after the tackle here. But look, the blocking's just not there. These complex blocking schemes with this young offensive line just isn't going to cut it. I know they want to try to establish a run, but you're going to have to try to get the ball to your playmakers outside on the edges. I think that's where Northeast has the advantage, and that's where we're going to need to try to deliver it in this system here.
2nd down and 15. Steele barking out the signals. Drifting out of the pocket. Now lofts one, single coverage down there, and it's incomplete. Nice job.
Yeah, great coverage there by
Cruz Bridges, yeah.
Much taller wide receiver, and look, again, that's going to be the matchup. Ball a little underthrown by Steele. If you want to get it to your bigger wide receivers, you got to get it down, make it a jump ball situation, but that's a little underthrown. But good job, good technique by number 15, Bridges, you see right there in your screen.
Bridges, a confident player, a junior. Not the tallest kid out there, 5'9". A quarterback draw, not much running room though for Steele, and a host of Tigers brings him down after a gain of just a couple of yards for Steele, and Northeast will have to punt the football away. Johnny Selders handles the punting for the Northeast Vikings.
Well, again, I think Northeast is still just kind of searching for their offensive identity. What do they want to do? Do they want to, kind of have Steele be a dual threat, run the ball as well as throw it, or do they want to get this run game going? But, really I think their success is going to have him kind of with the run-pass option all night.
The punt almost blocked. Decent punt here, and it's going to be returned by Devin Taylor. Taylor brought down at the 40-yard line. Let's send it down to the 27-yard punt. Let's send it down to the field, and Smacker Miles has an interview with one of our great sponsors here on the Game Time Game of the Week.
I have Malika Doomba from ITI Technical College. Tell me a little bit about what you do at ITI.
Yes, I'm an admissions representative at ITI, and we've been established since 1973. We're located here in Baton Rouge at 13944 Airline Highway, and we've been around doing a lot of great things in the community. This last year, Forbes recognized us as top 30 trade schools in America, and also this year we've been awarded 2018 Business of the Year by the Greater Baton Rouge. So,
what types of programs do you offer?
We have a lot of different programs ranging from industrial programs such as P-Tech and HVAC, also medical and office programs as well.
Thank you, Malika.
You're welcome. Thank you. And our enrollment starts November, and we have 4 starts a year.
Thank you. Jeff?
Thanks, Smacker, and a big defensive play that results in a touchdown. Johnny Selders picks up the loose football and goes 53 yards into the end zone, as there was just a miscommunication there on the handoff. And the Vikings, they've done this quite a bit. They've scored a bunch of defensive touchdowns this season. In fact, they had 3 of them in a game against Port Allen earlier this season.
Well, and when Dunham was getting the ball back with offensive momentum driving down the field, that's what this Northeast team needed, a big turnover, and not just a turnover, but a scoop and score for 6, puts them right back in this football game.
Go for 2, but miscommunication there. The wide receiver ran the slant. Steele threw the fade pattern into the corner, and it's a 1-point game. But the Vikings are on the board with just over 3 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, again, you'll just try to see here the quarterback and running back not on the same page, not reading it. You know, when you're coming through on that mesh, the running back's got to be, you know, hey, it's my ball, take it from the quarterback. Miscommunication, ball ends up on the turf, and Selders picks it up and just walks into the end zone.
So David Masterson has to enjoy that to see his defense get on the board. Earlier tonight, we had a chance to talk to Coach David Masterson. For more on that, let's go down to Smacker Miles.
Coach Masterson was so honest about how young this team is. They graduated 19 seniors last year, and they have a couple linemen who are playing football for the first time ever this year. Here's what he had to say about what he wants to see from his team tonight.
You know, it's not like the NFL. It's not like colleges and everything else. Sometimes we have to measure steps and baby steps, especially when you have a young team. I want to make sure that we play 4 quarters. I want to make sure that they never quit. These are the life lessons that are going to carry them through life. And regardless of the outcome, if these guys give everything they've got, the entire 4 quarters, regardless of the score, I'll be proud of them and content with what I saw tonight.
David Masterson is one of the best in this area when it comes to coaching football, and he's got a difficult situation this season based on the numbers that they have and the veteran players that are on this team. On the kickoff return, the returner fell down, and this turf is just slippery, and we've seen too many Dunham players in particular fall down in this game.
Well, and that attributed to the first turnover for Northeast when we saw Steele trying to drop back and get the shotgun snap, and his foot slipped from him, caused a turnover there. And we see down here Dunham on offense having trouble gaining their footing as well.
This is a soft field here where Dunham plays its football games, right off of Segan.
Well, it didn't help that sort of a utility crane came through here and ripped up parts of it on the sideline as well.
Godberry will throw, and he's under pressure, somehow got away from it, and then completes it to Devin Taylor, who's off to the races. Taylor all the way inside the 30-yard line. Nice run after the catch by Devin Taylor, who is an outstanding player for this Dunham Tigers team.
Well, Devin Taylor's going to get the credit for all the receiving yards, but watch Godberry on this play. For him to be able to keep this alive, I really thought he was going to lose his footing there and go down, take a big sack, but he's able to roll out and throw a dart to Taylor, and then once he gets on the outside and uses that speed, turns into a big play there for Dunham. But credit Godberry on that play, went for 49 yards.
Taylor, not a big kid, but he's tough. 5'8", 155 pounds, and he's going to get a lot more passes thrown his way tonight with Derek Stingley not playing. Godberry pump fakes over the middle, and it's complete. That's another Dunham first down. Nicholas Cambius on the catch. His second grab. He's a senior, 6'2". First down for the Dunham Tigers.
Well, this is when Dunham's offense is really good. They hit you with a big play, then they come back very quickly on the slant. Good job by Cambius reaching behind him and pulling that ball that was a little bit behind him into him, and now Dunham's offense rolling again.
12-yard pass play, keeping it is Godberry, and Godberry will go down to the ground. Tackled by Northeast.
And you're going to see, well, player down here for Northeast. I was going to say, you're going to see Dunham here want to go quick after a couple big plays, but we do have a player down for Northeast.
And they don't have many players, so any injury they get is a significant one, and that man getting up there is Samuel Pryor.
Yeah, not wearing his usual number tonight. Somehow he forgot that, but Masterson, being a master of all trades and tricks and being around the system, he was able to make do and got a new number tonight.
Second down and 5 after the run by Godberry. Godberry averaging 4 yards a carry. Godberry, a really good baseball player, too. starting shortstop on the Dunham baseball team, as you take a look at Samuel Pryor, wearing number 37 tonight instead of 17. One of the few returning starters on this Northeast defense. Godberry towards the end zone, and it is caught. Is he in there? Yes, touchdown Dunham.
Well, that was just too easy there, and that was Red Guidry, the big tight end that we mentioned. But again, you know, you're down there, and Dunham's deep in its own red zone, and here just stays way off the defender. And by the time Red Guidry turns around, he's already boxed the defender out. And Godberry is going to make that throw 10 out of 10 times, and they work on that so much, and it's in rhythm. And Godberry able to deliver, and another touchdown here for Dunham.
Extra point try coming up here for Evan Light, and it's actually it wasn't Evan Light. I'll have to get a number on it here in a second. That was well, anyways, we'll go down to Smacker Miles. Smacker, take it away.
I have Malika Doomba back here with us from ITI Technical College. Do you offer scholarships?
Yes, we offer scholarships to high school seniors, and one senior will get $5,000, 10 will get $1,000.
How can someone apply?
Easy. You can go online to our location or our website. You can call us at 225-752-4233.
And you said you're located in Baton Rouge, but when is the next start?
The next start is actually coming up next month on November 14th. It's our winter term. We have 4 starts a year, a winter, summer, spring, and fall. So it's plenty of time for people to get in now and to get a better life.
Thank you, Malika.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Jeff?
All right, Smacker, and thanks again to ITI Technical College for sponsoring our games and also all the great work as far as advancing people with the education and skills that they need to succeed in life. All right, Evan Light has it teed up. It's an onside kick. It's bouncing around, and somehow Northeast was able to get on it.
Wow, and maybe that's why we didn't see Evan Light on the last extra point. He was talking over there with Coach Weiner about possibly pulling off this onside kick. And we've got an injured player down here again. But you can see here, faking like they're going to kick it left, and then Evan comes around and kicks it to the right side and just bounces off that first defender, and just a real opportunity there for Devin Taylor to have recovered that football.
That's Samuel Pryor, who's down on the ground again, right? No? Or is 31? No, Pryor's 37. So we don't have a 31 on our roster.
William Walker, who's down on the play. We're being told we didn't have a 31, but we're learning up here in the booth it's William Walker, and hope that that young man is okay.
All right, so first down and 10 for Northeast, down by 8 at the 44-yard line here. Kind of a bunch formation this time for the Vikings. Steele, play action fake, rolling out. It's got 2 guys going deep, and that's an easy interception. Well underthrown, and now Dunham looking to score their own defensive touchdown. Ty Spurlock gets hammered out of bounds as Steele loses his helmet. Bad turnover there for Northeast, their second of the night. Ty Spurlock, who has done a little bit of everything. He had a 34-yard interception return for a return last week.
Well, Steele just served this one up on a platter. And again, Jeff, you mentioned when he's on, he's on. When he's off, he's off. On this throw, he was clearly off. He had 2 of his wide receivers that had gotten behind the defensive coverage, and he just threw that ball probably 10 yards short and just made it an easy interception for Spurlock. All he had to do was look it in, and he had a bevy of blockers out there in front. You see Steele showing a little his frustration and coming over trying to deliver a big blow, losing his helmet.
Whistle and a flag before we start this first play for Dunham. After the turnover, their second drive.
Before the snap, legal procedure, false start against the offense, be first down and 15.
their second drive tonight, starting in Northeast territory after the turnover.
Well, Northeast now has a little advantage here behind the chains. They need to make a big play on these first down. You can't let Dunham get their momentum on offense from first down.
Godberry under a lot of pressure, running for his life, breaking some tackles. A good run by Godberry to get it back inside the 20-yard line. That was a really good run.
Well, Godberry just showing you his determination on this run and really poor, sloppy tackling by Northeast. This should have been a no-gain play. You'll see right here to the left of your screen, should have been brought down right there in the backfield by Sellers, then runs through two defenders, and then the third and fourth defender barely get him down, and that's just good determination by Godberry, but poor tackling there by Northeast.
Ball at the 19-yard line. Godberry will fake the handoff, and now the pitch, and here's Devin Taylor. Good stiff arm. Devin Taylor all the way inside the 5-yard line.
This is a well-designed play, sort of the little read option with the first back, and then you're pitching out there to Devin Taylor. Here you go. You'll see the first quick read, tries to suck some of those defenders inside, and then it's just one-on-one with the quarterback and Devin Taylor gets out there and makes a play, and again, sloppy tackling out there by Northeast on the edges.
First and goal at the 3.
First and goal at the 3 now. Mouton's got it. Mouton gets upended at the goal line, and he is stopped short of the end zone.
Well, the good news is Mouton is back in the game. We saw him kind of limp off there, and he's looking healthier.
That is the final play of our first quarter. Saw 3 turnovers in this first quarter. Northeast got on the board because of a fumble recovery for a touchdown. But Reed Godberry and the Dunham Tigers looking to go up maybe by 15. We'll be back after this.
President Trump's new campaign slogan, promises made, promises kept. When appointed, Kyle Ardoin promised not to be a candidate for Secretary of State. Kyle immediately broke his promise. Like President Trump, Representative Rick Edmonds keeps his word. Endorsed by conservatives for his fight against voter fraud, vote buying, and illegal aliens voting. Voted no to all of Governor Edwards' tax increases. It's what Rick promised.
I'll fight to protect your ballot, just like I fought to protect your wallet.
Rick Edmonds, Secretary of State.
Hey, Joe Martin here. You've seen our commercials over the years, and you may be wondering, what's in it for me? Well, ITI Technical College has been selected by Forbes magazine as a top 32-year college. But even more than that, the reason we do this is you. Our tagline is, for a better life, and we mean that, for you to be able to have the life you've always dreamed about, to do the things for your family you've always dreamed about. And it can begin here, where we are dedicated to your success, because here at ITI, the reason we do it is you.
Come enjoy a great location just minutes away from the hustle and bustle of the city at Suma Lake Apartments. Experience luxurious living with all appliances included, granite countertops, and walk-in closets. Relax in a peaceful environment by the pool or enjoy fishing in a 9-acre lake. Kids are sure to enjoy the playground and basketball court. Located in Livingston Parish in a great school district. Call today, 225-686-1111.
Back here, a rowdy student section, but well-behaved student section at Dunham High School. And their Tigers are undefeated and up by 8 over the Northeast Vikings. Senior night here at Dunham.
You mean they're not playing the neck out there, Jeff? Oh, man.
That's a rough subject around Baton Rouge. Reed Godberry has the Dunham Tigers on the doorstep here, already up by 8. Mouton gets it that time and walks into the end zone for a touchdown. His 8th touchdown of the season, and Dunham extends its lead to 14.
Well, Mouton's a big traditional power back, as you can see there, but good trap block right there in the inside, and essentially Mouton just able to walk in right off the guard there. Good job by that front offensive line by Dunham, but watch the quick trap block right there, and able just to walk in right off the guard, and not much he needed to do there but hang on to the ball.
All right, Evan Light is now lined up to kick the extra point, and it does get through the uprights. And Dunham extends its lead to 15. With 11:55. Dunham Tigers 7-0 on the season, looking to go 8-0. And here is how the standings look heading into tonight's action in District 8-2A. Dunham 4-0, and they'll face Episcopal in the regular season finale, and it's likely that game will decide the district championship. Dunham won it last year. They went undefeated, going 6-0. East Feliciana is at 2-1. There's Northeast at 1-2. Capital is at 1-3. Port Allen and the Church Academy is at 0-3.
It seems like each year, and we've done that Dunham and Episcopal game a couple times, and that's where it normally comes down to. And both of those teams usually end up in the playoffs.
Handling the kick and kneeling it. Good field position coming up here for the Vikings as Quoshan Kelly handled that one easily. And Northeast offense will take the field again here at the 45-yard line.
Well, it's critical that they get something positive on this offensive drive. You can't just turn the football back over to Dunham. They're starting to click on all cylinders on offense. 11:55 to go in the half. And if anything at all, you want to get something positive, chew up the clock, and keep that red-hot offense of Dunham on the sideline.
Rashawn Steele, the 3-year starter at quarterback, threw 4 touchdown passes earlier this season in a game against Episcopal. Will try to run it here, and nice job by the Dunham defense to bring him down after a gain of just a yard. Making the tackle, Isaiah Arsenault, one of those small linebackers out there. Our scoring drive brought to you by Crown Trophy, and Traylon Mouton getting into the end zone for the 3rd score of the night for the Dunham Tigers.
Well, Traylon Mouton's had to pick up a lot of the load here. Dunham is missing a running back in Kalante Wilson, so he's supposed to be the guy.
If you've watched Northeast in the past, they're usually a run-oriented offense, but not this year. They have not been able to establish it because of that young offensive line. 2nd down and 8. Low snap, but handling it is Steele. Steele's under all kinds of pressure. He's got some men open, but he can't really deliver it, and now he's looking to run. Nice cut move there, and he's got a 1st down as he drags tacklers to the 40-yard line. The ball comes out, but he was down. The whistle blew, but a nice run there by Rashawn Steele, and there's that Cam Newton look you were talking about, Jason.
Yeah, pick up a 14 yards, and we saw the most amazing run by a quarterback maybe ever in high school in this field. Last year, I almost thought we might have had it again, but watch this move by a 225-pound back right there. And that's just amazing to be able to be that gentle and that big and picking up the 1st down.
Now a run up the middle, and this is looking promising. Johnny Selders very close to the 1st down. Selders, a 2nd-team All-State receiver last year. And Coach Masterson had said that they're going to try to run the football with Selders a little more just to get somebody in that backfield who can get you 8-9 yard runs like you just got right there.
Well, and when you have to start accounting for Steele at the quarterback position, you start to sneak Selders in and some other players in there to get some carries. And let's see if Northeast can start going a little quicker since they've got Dunham on their heels a little bit here.
2nd down and 2. Dunham showing blitz. They wanted to run the option, and Steele is brought down.
Well, he should have pitched that ball. You see number 11 out there on the edge by himself, and you know, I know the defenders came in there quickly, but he had the opportunity to pitch this ball. Watch Selders here. I mean, you got to pitch that ball right there. The defensive end has already committed to the quarterback. You're supposed to read that and pitch off of it to Selders. He may still be running.
3rd down and 4 now for Northeast. Tut Mushmek is the offensive coordinator for the Vikings, a long-time coach in this area. He was the head coach at St. John Plaquemine and Live Oak as well. And he's now the OC for David Masterson. 3rd down and 3. Quick pass on the slant, and it's complete. Nice job by Jacette Scott. And Scott all the way up to the 21-yard line. There's another All-State player.
Well, Jeff, this is the matchup I'm talking about. When you've got Selders and Scott on the outside, Steele looks back and realizes he has one-on-one coverage, and he just threads this ball in there. That's just a beautiful thrown ball right in there to Scott. But you've got the bigger players at the skill position on offense, and every time I would see that one-on-one coverage, I would like my taller receivers over the shorter defensive backs at Dunham, particularly, again, with Stingley out tonight.
Yes, if you're just joining us, no Derek Stingley in this game. has a knee injury and hopes to be back in a couple weeks against Episcopal. Now they try the fade or the back shoulder throw, touchdown!
Again, I like, the one-on-one coverage right there. I like my guy, Northeast, over the Dunham smaller defensive back, and this time Scott just goes up and gets another one. Steele puts it in a place, almost like a back shoulder throw, where he's able to go get it. Again, still low snaps, but watch this ball thrown to the outside back shoulder, and by the time the defensive back, Williams, turns around, that ball is already pulled down by Scott.
Scott, his 5th touchdown catch of the season. That is now 12 touchdown passes thrown by Steele. And Dunham's big concern in this game was the 50-50 balls. They knew they were going to go deep on them. Alvin Stokes is the running back in his 2-point try to make it a 7-point game. Steele under a lot of pressure here. Flag's down. Steele is about to go down. We'll see what the flag is about. I would imagine it's probably holding. But that's a big miss there for Northeast because it's still a 2-possession game.
Yeah, let's see what the flag is. I'm not sure why they didn't just try for the extra point.
Well, I don't think they really – I don't think they have a kicker.
We have holding on the offense, number 57 on the try. That penalty is declined. The try is no good.
So the Dunham Tigers leading it 21-12. Northeast showing some fight here. 3-year starter, and Rashan Steele has played in a lot of big games, hooking up with his main man, Jacent Scott.
Tonight's Game Time starting lineups are brought to you by ITI Technical College, your key to a better life. Check out the stories behind the games. Visit yourview.com/Louisiana.
I'm at the Washington Street exit. This is the only place in the United States where the interstate system funnels down to one lane. There's a reason for that. It's stupid.
So, Congressman Garrett Graves is working on fixing stupid. Graves fought to increase our share of highway dollars by $500 million and created a grant to fix the Washington Street exit, expand I-10, and upgrade I-12. Congressman Garrett Graves, making traffic improvements a reality when others couldn't get it done.
I'm Garrett Graves, and I approve this message.
Tonight's Game Time keys to the game are brought to you by Podna's Barbecue. Slow cooked, fall off the bone perfection, and the best baked beans in America. For more Game Time high school football coverage, check out yourview.com.
20-yard touchdown catch as he gets Northeast on the board.
He had 2 good catches on that series. He had the big slant play that went for a ways, and then he came back and caught the back shoulder. So a good series there by Steele and Scott.
Johnny Selders has it teed up. If you watch Dunham on the returns, they like trying to do fake reverses. Sometimes they will reverse. There it is again, and they do hand it off to Devin Taylor. Taylor up to the 26-yard line, and he is tripped up. And then a flag comes in late.
They may get Kelly with taunting here a little bit. And just
DJ Taylor was also in on the tackle.
May have been Quashawn Kelly that after he had the Taylor corralled there, might have been talking a little noise to him. But let's see here what the call is.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on the kicking team. The 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. The first down. Right.
So now Dunham will take over.
Let's see if we can pick it up here, what happens. Wasn't a high kick, but a pretty good deep kickoff and squibbing around there. And as you mentioned, here's sort of the reverse on the kickoff return. And let's see who comes into the screen. There's 10, and I think that may be where it was. And it's hard to hear sometimes what they're jabbing, but I think when the knee kind of went across the helmet as Taylor was trying to get up off the field, that's probably what they called.
1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Reed Godberry. David Masterson, he wanted an explanation from the referee, Francis Guillory. So he's gotten the explanation. Not sure if he agrees with it or not, but
yeah,
it is what it is.
Ref told him, just tell him to keep his mouth shut. That's what the explanation was.
From the 41-yard line, Mouton gets another carry, and Mouton is in the clear. Runs over his own guy. That's kind of slowed him up a little bit. Jacoby Jonas, a senior, but a big first down run there by Traylon Mouton.
Yeah, Mouton's looking good. You know, he's starting to get his rhythm a little bit. And one thing that Northeast did not want Dunham to do was establish the running game. And, you know, Mouton looks like he's hobbling a bit back there. That was a good gain of 15 yards, but he still looks like he's hobbling a little bit.
Godberry keeps it that time, a minimal gain. Wrapped up by Johnny Selders and thrown back down. This Northeast defense playing with a lot of emotion. Quoshane Kelly in on the stop as well.
Well, Kelly's doing a whole bunch of talking. He just got rang up for a personal foul and talking after the play. He's got to be careful here.
2nd down and 8 now for Dunham. Neil Weiner, the offensive coordinator / head coach,
looked like
calling the play.
Wheelbarrow tackle there.
2nd and 8. Godberry gets rid of it and incomplete. The receiver kept going down the field, Nicholas Cambius, and Godberry says, don't worry about it, my fault, let's get him on 3rd down.
Yeah, that ball came out funny. The nose was going down in a hurry, and I'm wondering if it almost just slipped out of his hand, but there was no receiver in the area. Obviously miscommunication there by receiver and Godberry. It's Cambius on the route.
Third and long. Northeast rushes 4. They set up the screen to Mouton and a great open field tackle by Quoshane Kelly. That was a great play defensively by the all-district player who sometimes he'll over-pursue, but Coach Masterson says for the most part he's a really smart defensive player.
Well, we've seen Kelly very active here on the last couple of plays, and this time good job snuffing it out and making the sure tackle. We saw them having some tackling issues on the last couple of series by Dunham, but that time making the sure tackle. And be interesting to see what Dunham does here. Remember, Godberry can also punt the football.
Looks like, what do we got here? A penalty here. Northeast calls timeout. It's 7:16 left to go before halftime.
The Dunham School thanks State Farm and Steve Johnson for being gold-level sponsors of the Fall Backers. Call Steve Johnson for all your insurance needs. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. The Dunham School thanks Altus Wealth Management and Everything for being a gold-level sponsor of the Fall Backers.
This week on YurView's High School Football Recruiting Podcast, Over the Middle, ESPN's Tom Van Haren joins Jeremy to discuss the impact the NCAA's new transfer and redshirt rules will have on college football recruiting. We've already seen national level teams like Clemson and Oklahoma State impacted by these changes, but they won't be the last programs. Jeremy also breaks down the Ford fan pick battle between Carl Albert and Guthrie on YurView, Oklahoma. And he also makes his call on which five-star quarterback he would want leading his program. That and more on this week's episode of Over the Middle Podcast. You can check it out on YurView.com.
May have to watch that. Those transfer rules and redshirt rules, that stuff is becoming more and more complicated.
On 4th down, Dunham going for it. Godberry with a man in his face, and it's incomplete.
Well, good timeout there by Masterson. You wonder why he called a timeout. It was 4th and long there, and he wanted to make sure that his defensive personnel was lined up in the right place because it was a great opportunity to get the football back in good field position. So give Masterson credit there, getting the timeout, getting his guys lined up, getting a little pressure there, and just making sure that they stayed in coverage, and Godberry had nowhere to really go with the football. A little one hopper there to Taylor.
1st and 10 at the 43. And now Northeast with the football, middle of the second quarter. Rashan Steele, he was feeling it on the last drive. Let's see if he's still hot here on this drive. He'll roll where there were 3 wide receivers. Guidry is pursuing him, and he throws an interception.
Bobo down on the interception.
Yeah, that was Connor Bowen on the interception there. And, you know, I'm not sure what Steele was looking at on this play. I agree with moving the pocket, young offensive line. I talked in the outset that I thought that that's what they would have to do to give him more time here. But you'll see on the rollout, it's almost as if he didn't see Connor Bowen just sitting right there in the flat. But, I mean, he throws it right to him. And you'd have to think that Steele just didn't see him when he was rolling out and had his eyes glued on his receiver Fisher there and didn't see Bowen come into the screen.
Mouton running hard up the middle for about 5 after the Ant-Man defense gets the interception. Bowen, who's the leading tackler for the Dunham Tigers, gets to pick up, gets the interception there, and Tigers are in business, starting another drive in Northeast territory.
Well, 3 turnovers, and obviously now Dunham +1 over the turnover margin. That's 2 there for Northeast.
That's 3 for Northeast. That's the second interception by Steele, and he's also fumbled one.
Yeah, and the fumble, the early fumble. That's right. So you can't come out here and, you know, you're playing probably a team with more talent and better record. You can't give up 3 turnovers in the first half.
Trying to get Mouton a little bit more involved in this game, running the football with him. He's a big back, isn't he, Jason?
He is, but you can see he's still running gingerly. He's trying to give it his all, and you know that his other complimentary back is out due to injury. But you can see he is not 100%, and he's hobbling a little bit there in the backfield.
3rd down and 1. I bet you he gets the football here, or maybe Godberry keeps it. Let's see. Yep, Godberry keeps it on a designed run, and he breaks through the line of scrimmage. Quoshan Kelly on the tackle, but another first down for the Tigers. This Dunham offense, it's not terribly complicated, Jason. Even Neil Weiner will tell you they only run a handful of plays, but it has been very explosive this season.
Well, they run a few plays, but they run them well, and they move people around, and everybody knows what their assignment is, and they're running out of various formations, too.
From the 28-yard line. Godberry with pressure on him. Gets away from a couple guys. Nope, he can't get away from the second one. Dunham wants a horse collar, but I think he just had the back of his jersey.
Yeah, I don't think that was a horse collar there, but again, Northeast needs to make the tackle much earlier in the plays. Watch, you'll see Selders here, and they just haven't done a good job of tackling. Should have brought Godberry down right there, but here's where people are looking. Was it a horse collar? Well, kind of looks like he does have the back of the neck right in the center there, and
maybe they call it a horse shirt instead of a hard run by Mouton, and then he is brought down on a big hit by DJ Taylor, who's the son of longtime coach Darren Taylor. DJ Taylor is a really good player, especially in the run. Did not play last week because of a thigh injury, so they're glad to have him back out there. 3rd and long now for Northeast. 4 down territory at the 25-yard line.
Well, number 5, Cambius, and number 2, Devin Taylor, are the ones that have really been hot here for Dunham.
Nick Swear gets a carry. Nice job by his offensive line, and then Kelly, how about that tackle there? Put a helmet in the middle of his chest and drive him back.
Well, obviously, Neil, Coach Weiner thinking 4 down territory, and this time what he does is he spreads them out, and then he tries to kind of fool them, sneaking it up the middle there. It was a good pickup, but still, you got about 4th and 5 to go.
With 4 minutes to go in the second quarter. Godberry will throw on 4th down. Here comes more pressure. Gets rid of it. It's complete. First down, Dunham. Along the near sidelines, Devin Taylor makes another big catch.
Well, Devin Taylor's the one that's really been active here offensively and at the wide receiver position for Dunham. But again, credit Godberry buying some time with his legs and making an accurate throw there on the run to Devin Taylor, able to make a good catch and pick up the first down. Keep the chains moving.
Ball is outside the 10-yard line, so they can still pick up another first down, but they're inside the ITI Technical College red zone as Mouton gets chopped down by Kelly. Kelly's doing a little bit more talking out there as well. It'll be 2nd down and about 4.
Yeah, Northeast has had his chances here in the first half, but we talked about it earlier. 3 turnovers, and obviously this series resulted as another Northeast turnover.
Oh, look at that. in the backfield. Getting met was Mouton. And Quoshan Kelly swimming in tackles right now.
Yeah, this is just a stud of a play. But I tell you what, Kelly can tackle, but if you don't block him, it's going to be even harder to stop him.
Look at that.
And I tell you what, that's a textbook tackle, just darting through the gap there.
Wrapping up, too. I mean, he head up. That is how you do it.
Yeah.
That was really nice.
He's saying, look, I'm not saying anything. I'm just swimming. I'm just swimming.
Smacker Miles knows something about that.
Yeah.
I think he was trying to impress Smacker.
Yeah.
Throw to the end zone, off the hands of Cambius, incomplete.
This one's just a little off the mark of Godberry. You're thinking maybe Cambius, one of their better receivers, could pull it down. You can see a little upset with himself. Wasn't a perfect throw, but one you'd probably expect Cambius to be able to pull down. You see a little high, a little wide there, but good effort there, though, by Cambius trying to pull it down.
25-yard field goal by Luke Russell. Right-footed kicker. Out to hold, that is Reed Godberry. Russell's kick, and that looks pretty good right through the uprights. And that gives Dunham now a 24-12 lead as they convert more points off the third Northeast turnover of the night.
Yeah, good field goal there, and a pretty good drive there by Dunham. Obviously didn't cash in and get the touchdown off a turnover, so got to credit Northeast for not letting them put it in the end zone. But we need to get Northeast going here on offense, and again, with the 3 turnovers, they're still kind of hanging around here in the first half.
Russell will get it teed up. So they got 2 kickers out there, Jason. And so you really don't exactly know who is going to be the guy that kicks it. You're a former kicker. Would you like having another kicker lined up to the next EVU?
No, it's just me, baby. But, no, we have done these things before, and typically you'll see these when you need like a trick play or surprise somebody, or at the end of the game you may do something like this. But this is just status quo for Coach Weiner and his special teams.
Light kicks it, and it's handled once again.
But, Coach Weiner, Neil Weiner, his dad is sitting up in the stands, and he's the master of all those trick plays, so probably some of his dad rubbing off on Neil Weiner.
Catholic High's got a big game tonight against East Ascension. It's one of the top games in the area. Big game in Lafayette area. Lafayette Christian and Vermilion Catholic battling it out. 1st and 10 at the 50. Hard to believe, as it always does. Goes by so fast. Week 8 of the high school football season.
Well, let's see if Northeast can put something together here. Obviously, they need to get some points here before the half.
Northeast, I believe, will get the ball to begin the second half. So this is big. Steele on the keeper on the read option, and does his best Joe Burrow impersonation there and gets up to the 40-yard line.
And I think they need to do more of this. I think he needs to be that involved in the offense for them to have a chance. He's going to have to run the football well, and see what that does is it gives them good yardage on first down, obviously able to pick up the first down, but I like that type of call on first down. See if they can get something positive with his legs and then go quick and maybe take some shots to these skill guys on the outside.
Line up in I formation with Johnny Selders dotting the I here. Stokes is the fullback, and here's the handoff. It wasn't pretty, and that really ruined the timing of the play. Plus, Dunham was in the backfield very quick. Selders loses a yard. And Coben Leindecker, who's playing with a cast on his left hand, comes up a little slow.
Yeah, that was supposed to be a handoff turned into a pitch. And, if I'm Coach Maston, I might be taking this stuff out of my offense tonight. I know why he's doing it. At some point, they may run some play action off of it. But, if you're getting negative yards on these traditional running plays, at some point you're going to have to take this out.
2nd down and 12. Selders is in the backfield again with Steele, but this time Steele in shotgun formation. Jacoby Junis in motion to the far side. Dunham coming with the quick. There's a quick pass, but it's read well defensively. Connor Bound there again defensively. And I think B.J. Lewis, too, there for Dunham. And it's now 3rd down and 13. Time becoming a factor here for Northeast. Over a minute to go.
Yeah, just trying to get it out to one of your playmakers, see if they can do something in space. Remember, this young line, you don't always have opportunity to throw the ball. But, again, I go back to that that running play where Steele had some offense carrying some good yards carrying the ball himself, and then they go to the I formation, and then this whole series has kind of gone backwards since that play.
3rd down and 13 at the 43-yard line. Steele loses the ball, picked up by Leindecker. And another turnover, the 4th turnover of the night. So even though he's playing with a cast on his hand and hurt as he's coming back to the sidelines, he gets a turnover there. And that's the story of the first half for the Vikings, 4 turnovers.
Well, Steele just sloppy with the football. You see, when you're going through, if you're going to step up in the pocket like that, and you know that there are going to be traffic and defenders around you, you can't hold the ball with one hand. You gotta put 2 hands on the football when there's that much traffic around you. And obviously, Leindecker in there forcing the fumble, Dunham with the turnover.
1st and 10. Let's see if Dunham can make it hurt really bad now with 36 seconds left. Godberry is on the run, and he gets brought down at the 48. Neil Weiner quickly calling timeout with 28 seconds left. Well, you'd wonder where this game would be at, Jason, if the Vikings didn't turn it over 4 times in this first half.
Yeah, I mean, that's the critical thing. At times, Northeast has looked real good on offense, and as they get some momentum, then there's a turnover. It's either a fumble or it's an interception. But that's 2 fumbles down by Steele and 2 interceptions as well. Now, one of them was a low snap, probably not as much his fault. But still, you can't turn over the football 4 times and a half, particularly when you're on the road. Expect to be competitive.
And is Louisiana's largest lender for several years running. GMFS Mortgage, changing lives.
Game time on YurView Louisiana. Thanks Louisiana Lift for their support of this telecast, specializing in customer service on equipment, rentals, parts, and training. Louisiana Lift has been serving its customers since 1980. You can check them out online at lalift.com or call their Baton Rouge office, 753-5700, or contact the New Orleans area office. That's area code 504-463-3400. Louisiana Lift, they're always on call. I believe Dunham still has 2 more timeouts here with 28 seconds to go before halftime. 2nd and 6 is Godberry. Has to get out of the pocket again. Godberry trying to run for as much yards as possible. He's got the first down. The clock is ticking. It stops, or it's still going. Now it stops with 15 seconds.
You got a Northeast player down, so it's going to stop here. That's Kelly still on the ground, number 10.
I believe we've been in this stadium, Jason, where we've seen a Hail Mary at halftime. I don't know if
we have. Seen a Hail Mary throw and 1 Hail Mary run.
Yeah. Godberry's pass is complete, and knocked out of bounds was Cambius. Cambius, I think, has got enough for the first down, and he does. They're moving the chains. There's 8 seconds left.
Well, here, I mean, you really have 2 options. You got a timeout, so you could maybe take a quick shot, 20, 25 yards, and call a timeout, get your field goal, or you're going to have to try to force it down the field, almost, as you mentioned, Hail Mary style.
At the 35-yard line. And Weiner wants to use another timeout here. Well, does Godberry have the arm to get it downfield, though? I think they got to run one of those little slant plays, try to pick up as many yards, and maybe if you get one more shot at it, then you can throw it.
Yeah, and they still have a timeout left, so you don't have to necessarily utilize the sidelines, and that's probably why Coach Weiner took a timeout there, because he still knows he has 1 to burn. So this play is going to be critical, and he has to develop his strategy in the huddle right now. What is he going to do? Is he going to try to force something to the end zone, or is he going to just try to maybe pick up 20, 30 yards and see if he can get the field goal kicker out there and get 3 before the half?
David Masterson calls the defensive plays for the Vikings.
Once Godberry drops back, if you're going to go to the end zone, first of all, you need to have some good protection there by your offensive line, but he's going to have to throw this ball about 50 yards in the air.
Throws over the middle, intercepted. Here's Kelly coming back the other way. Kelly trying to stay on his feet as long as possible. He goes down, and that's the end of your first half.
Well, Kelly has had a huge game. He has been active. We know he had the one taunting penalty, but I tell you what, he's been disruptive on defense. And here you are again, just good read there by Kelly, dropping into coverage. He understood what Dunham was going to try to do and get just some quick yardage and maybe get the field goal team on. Great read there by Kelly.
6 turnovers in this first half, 4 by Northeast, 2 by Dunham. And we got a 12-point game, so let's go down to the field in Smacker Miles.
Coach, Reed Godberry starts out with an interception, then he throws a touchdown, and then you make that 4th down call. What are you thinking during that decision?
I don't know. We go for it on 4th down a lot, so I don't know. I think we went for it 3 times on 4th down in that half. I don't even know which one you're talking about.
Your defense comes up with 4 turnovers. How big of an impact have they had on this game?
Well, our defense has been great for us all year long, and they did it here tonight. I mean, we needed them, you know. The takeaways are a huge part of the game, and right now I think we're +1 in that. We need to be better than that.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.
Jeff?
Thanks, Smacker, and a good first half. David Masterson will try to get his guys regrouped, get them some water. As his team is battling here tonight, they come in as the big underdogs, but they're only down by 12, and they get the ball to begin the second half. We'll be back after this.
Game Time Halftime is brought to you by Podna's Barbecue. Slow cooked, fall off the bone perfection, and the best baked beans in America. Gary Lewis Property. From apartments, condominiums, and townhomes, Gary Lewis Properties is a top provider in Baton Rouge of residential and commercial property for rent. Monogram Express. We make ordinary gifts extraordinary. And by Louisiana Lift. And Louisiana Lift, we're always on call. Check out YurView.com for in-depth high school football coverage.
When I tore my ACL, I didn't think I'd ever be able to play soccer again. My doctor told me how important physical therapy would be, so I chose Peak. I'm glad I did. Now I'm stronger, faster, better than ever. Choose Peak.
Choose Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
When I get back to Baton Rouge, I get in my Blues Mobile and I drive right on down to Partner's Barbecue. And you know what I do? I get me some ribs, all tender too. Some baked beans, some potato salad, some smoked sausage. You got to come on down to Partner's Barbecue, yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Hey, Joe Martin here. You've seen our commercials over the years, and you may be wondering, what's in it for me? Well, ITI Technical College has been selected by Forbes magazine as a top 32-year college. But even more than that, the reason we do this is you. Our tagline is for a better life, and we mean that, for you to be able to have the life you've always dreamed about, to do the things for your family you've always dreamed about. And it can begin here, where we are dedicated to your success, because here at ITI, the reason we do it is you.
Exercising is my life, so when I had to stop because of my foot and ankle pain, I was absolutely devastated. I chose Peak, and they taught me how to relieve the pain. They really do bring out the athlete in everyone. Choose Peak.
Choose Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
Tonight's Game Time League standings are brought to you by Crown Trophy. Check out the stories behind the games. Visit yourview.com/Louisiana.
Senior night here at Dunham, and it's also halftime with the Dunham Tigers leading the Northeast Vikings 24-12 as they are recognizing some of the other student athletes here at Dunham that are seniors. We also want to recognize one of the great sponsors of Game Time, and that's Louisiana Farm Bureau Insurance Companies.
I'm Evan Raymond with Louisiana Farm Bureau. I'm an agent in East Baton Rouge Parish, and we're out here today at Luckett Farms for the corn, maize, and pumpkin patch. So, you know, it's that time of year. It's fall season. Football's in full swing now, and just like we love to get out and go to our local high school games, this is another great example of just spending time out in the community with our families and friends. And, you know, we got the holiday season coming up with Halloween and Thanksgiving, and so you know, it's that time of year for pumpkin patches and fall weather, and we're looking forward to it. Get out here with the family and supporting our local farmers, our local community, our local events, and that's what Farm Bureau Insurance is all about. We're about real service, real people. You know, we do everything in this area, and we want to give back to the community, so sponsoring events like this is a great way to do it, and this is what Farm Bureau is all about.
Big crowd here on senior night for the Dunham Tigers, watching the undefeated third-ranked team in Class 2A. They lead the Northeast Vikings in this district matchup. More of the West Feliciana Parish halftime show after this.
Well, I've had back pain now and then, but it got so bad I couldn't even bend over. I didn't want to resort to pain pills, so I chose Peak, hoping they could relieve the pain. They got me active again. I even lost weight. I believe in better. I chose Peak.
Choose Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
Okay, listen up. I know you offer great auto rates, local agents, fast, friendly claims, but do you want to be a legend? You got to get tough, kid. When I'm done with you, nothing's going to keep you down.
Great talk, Brett. Can we get back to your auto quote now?
All right, sure.
Great.
Get great auto rates and local agents at favrates.com from Farm Bureau Insurance.
How about some water?
No, thanks. I'm good.
Come enjoy a great location just minutes away from the hustle and bustle of the city at Sumo Lake Apartments. Experience luxurious living with all appliances included, granite countertops, and walk-in closets. Relax in a peaceful environment by the pool or enjoy fishing in a 9-acre lake. Kids are sure to enjoy the playground and basketball court. Located in Livingston Parish in a great school district. Call today, 225-686-1111.
I think that people want to be in West Feliciana because it's truly one of the unique parts of Louisiana. That if you live in West Feliciana, you can have it all. You can have a great lifestyle, a government that works for you and is open and transparent. You can have wonderful neighbors. You can have a great school. You can live in an environment that's free of fear from crime. We're less than 20 minutes from the Baton Rouge airport, 30 minutes from the state capitol. What we have in West Feliciana is a place where you really can have it all.
I spent years suffering from knee pain, so I decided to have replacement surgery. My doctor did a great job, and he allowed me to choose Peak for my PT. I should have done this a long time ago. I'm so glad I chose Peak.
Choose Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
Tonight's Game Time Player of the Game is brought to you by ITI Technical College, your key to a better life. Check out the stories behind the games. Visit yourview.com/Louisiana.
Back at Dunham, where the Dunham Tigers are leading the Northeast Vikings 24-12 as we continue with the West Feliciana Parish halftime show. Jeff Palermo along with Jason DeQuare again, senior night here at Dunham, and so they're recognizing some of the other student athletes outside of football. They recognize the football players who are seniors before the game, and now they're doing the swim team, volleyball, and so forth. But an interesting first half. A lot of turnovers in that first half, but here Dunham has a 12-point lead, but Northeast is hanging around.
Yeah, and again, as we mentioned, no Derek Stingley, so they're having to find offense from other places. Mouton's had a good game. Taylor's had a good game. And so some of the other offensive players that Coach Weiner talked about in the outset are coming to fruition. And for Northeast, you can't come on the road, turn over the ball 4 times in one half. And, Steele has had some opportunities, but he's also thrown 2 picks. And I think those kinds of things have contributed to the score you have here tonight.
Now time for the best part of our halftime show. That is our Teachers and Scholars of the Week. Let's find out who the Teachers of the Week are. And for that, we send it down to the field and smack her miles.
This is Mrs. Eagleton from Dunham. She's a senior English teacher. What do you want your kids to bring away from your class?
Oh, wow. Well, I teach seniors, and I absolutely love that time with them. They are getting ready to apply for college. Some of them already have applied. They're filling out resumes. They are filling out the applications, and they're getting ready to take that big step out there. So I'm just hoping that they are ready and ready to make that big decision, and I'm just excited for them.
Mrs. Eagleton has been at Dunham for 15 years. She's been the AP Teacher of the Year, many other accolades, and very involved at school. What do you think of the Dunham community?
Wow, the Dunham community really is. It's more than a community. It is. It's been a family to me. The faculty are dear friends of mine, and it's faith-based, and that means so much to me. And the students are a blast to teach, and I get to have authentic conversations with them about things that are important, in addition to English and research and all of those things that are so important in their lives. But I get to have the conversations that I know are going to be ones that they'll hopefully remember for the rest of their lives.
Thank you, Mrs. Eagleton, and congrats on being our YurView Teacher of the Week.
Well, thank you very much.
Next up, we will be meeting the Scholars of the Week. This is Jordan from Dunham. As you can see, he's an athlete. He's part of their basketball team, and he's also a very impressive student. Tell us about how you manage both.
I would say, just making sure that everything's on time, planning out your day, starting with the morning, make sure you have all your homework done, just going home and doing what you have to do after practice and stuff, and keep making sure you have to get your rest at night.
Jordan was a part of the state championship team last year, bringing that state title to Dunham, so important. Why was your team a championship caliber team?
I would say consistency throughout the whole year. We always stuck with each other. We always fought hard. Coach Pixley always stressed us to play hard and make sure that you make every game like it's your last. So that's what we did, and we came out on top.
Jordan's very humble, but his principal told me about how bright of a future he has. We're really excited about it. Congrats on being our YurView Student of the Week.
Thank you.
Jeff?
Hey, Joe Martin here. You've seen our commercials over the years, and you may be wondering, what's in it for me? Well, ITI Technical College has been selected by Forbes magazine as a top 32-year college. But even more than that, the reason we do this is you. Our tagline is, for a better life, and we mean that, for you to be able to have the life you've always dreamed about, to do the things for your family you've always dreamed about. And it can begin here, where we are dedicated to your success, because here at ITI, the reason we do it is you.
When I get back to Baton Rouge, I get in my blues mobile and I drive right on down to Partner's Barbecue. And you know what I do? I get me some ribs, all 10 to 2. Some baked beans, some potato salad, some smoked sausage. You got to come on down to Partner's Barbecue, yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Come enjoy a great location just minutes away from the hustle and bustle of the city at Suma Lake Apartments. Experience luxurious living with all appliances included, granite countertops, and walk-in closets. Relax in a peaceful environment by the pool or enjoy fishing in a 9-acre lake. Kids are sure to enjoy the playground and basketball court. Located in Livingston Parish in a great school district. Call today, 225-686-1111.
Okay, listen up. I know you offer great auto rates, local agents, fast, friendly claims, but do you want to be a legend? You got to get tough, kid. When I'm done with you, nothing's going to keep you down.
Great talk, Brett. Can we get back to your auto quote now?
All right, sure.
Great.
Get great auto rates and local agents at favrates.com from Farm Bureau Insurance.
How about some water?
No, thanks. I'm good.
Great night here at Dunham, where the Dunham Tigers leading the Northeast Vikings 24-12 as we continue with our halftime festivities on the West Feliciana Parish halftime show. Jeff Palermo along with Jason DeQueer inside a crowded press box here at Dunham. 2A football at its finest.
It is.
When it comes to facilities, but it's always very hospitable here at Dunham High School. And Dunham up by 12 without Derek Stingley. They've really taken advantage of the 4 turnovers here by Northeast.
No, they really have, and their offense really has come to life in that first half. But look, Northeast is not out of this football game. They can go back, got a good coach over there with Masterson. They can regroup, and I think they need to get more positive production on first down. And that may be from Steele running the ball. I think he's going to have to be more active running the football, but also getting it to some of his skilled players out on the edges.
Let's take a look at our first half highlights, and there's a lot to choose from as there were a lot of big plays in this contest. Here's the first turnover of the night for Northeast, and that would result in Dunham getting on the board right there, a touchdown, Kobe Semien getting in, and then Godberry, miscommunication on the read option and picking it up for Northeast and hauling it into the end zone. was Johnny Selders. They missed on the two-point try. There's a nice pass, touchdown catch to Rhett Guidry. And here's an interception, another turnover. Traylon Mouton getting into the end zone. Great pass there by Steele and caught by Jacent Scott. And then another bad pass by Rashawn Steele. There's another turnover. Godberry, he is picked off. And the final play of the first half, Quoshan Kelly. As that's how our first half ended. Kelly had a bunch of tackles in this game and gets the interception. There's the statistics in this one. Dunham has double the total yards than the Vikings, but again, the big statistic is the 4 turnovers for Northeast. Heck, even if they cut those things in half, it's at least a one-possession game.
No, that's right. You just can't have that number of turnovers on the road. And the other big statistic is only 6 first downs for Northeast. But again, that's a catalyst from some of the turnovers on offense. But, they still have an opportunity to get back in this football game.
They certainly do. Northeast, they can put up some points. You can tell they got some good skill position players. The one thing that will hurt them, small roster, how will – on a humid night tonight in late October or mid-October, how will they be able to withstand that as they go into the fourth quarter? We'll take another break. When we come back, we'll be that much closer to the start of the second half. The Dunham Tigers leading the Northeast Vikings. This is Game Time on YurView.
This throbbing neck pain was so bad it moved to my shoulders and was causing severe headaches. Then a friend suggested I choose Peak. 2 weeks later, the pain was completely gone. So glad I chose Peak.
Choose Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
Hey, Joe Martin here. You've seen our commercials over the years, and you may be wondering, what's in it for me? Well, ITI Technical College has been selected by Forbes magazine as a top 32-year college. But even more than that, the reason we do this is you. Our tagline is, for a better life. And we mean that, for you to be able to have the life you've always dreamed about, to do the things for your family you've always dreamed about. And it can begin here, where we are dedicated to your success, because here at ITI, the reason we do it is you.
Come enjoy a great location just minutes away from the hustle and bustle of the city at Suma Lake Apartments. Experience luxurious living with all appliances included, granite countertops, and walk-in closets. Relax in a peaceful environment by the pool or enjoy fishing in a 9-acre lake. Kids are sure to enjoy the playground and basketball court. Located in Livingston Parish in a great school district. Call today, 225-686-1111.
Do you need to say great job, congratulations, or way to go? Crown Trophy on Sherwood Forest Boulevard in Baton Rouge has the trophy, plaque, acrylic, or crystal award you're looking for. Whether it's for your team, business, or church, come to Crown Trophy. We guarantee the highest level of customer service, and there's no charge for rush orders or trophy engraving. We're nationally known and locally owned. Visit us online to view our catalog at www.crowntrophy.com.
My shoulder pain got so bad I couldn't lift anything overhead. So I chose Peak Performance, and I can't believe how much better I am now. Peak really does get you back into the game of life. Choose Peak.
Choose Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
Tonight's Game Time Play of the Game is brought to you by Louisiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Ready to serve you with auto insurance, homeowners insurance, life insurance, and more. Real service, real people.
There's a look at the Division III power rankings coming into tonight's action. Notre Dame, the top seed. Most people think Notre Dame will be the team that will get back to the Dome. Last year, remember, they lost to Catholic High of New Iberia. Country Day has had an outstanding season. They're the number 2 seed. And even though the number looks close there between Country Day and Dunham, it may be very difficult for Dunham to get past Country Day. What they really need is Central to keep winning. That's really helped Dunham get up on those power ratings. Calvary Baptist out of Shreveport's at 4. Newman is at 5. Ascension Episcopal 6. There's the Panthers at 7. Episcopal's at number 8. Menard at 9. And then Riverside Academy, a down year for them. They are at number 10. But this is a competitive division. Notre Dame is the class. Everyone thought Notre Dame was going to win it last year. They didn't. They got upset by Catholic High of New Iberia in the championship game. So anything can happen in this division. But this is a really good Dunham team. And I haven't seen Country Day play, Jason, but you got to like Dunham's chances. If they're healthy, they got some guys that are banged up, including Derek Stingley. If they're healthy, they can beat anyone in this division and win a state championship.
No, I agree. I mean, if they get their running back, obviously Stingley comes back. I think, we saw Notre Dame earlier. This team has the capability to stay on the field with them and possibly upset those guys.
Dunham won a state championship in 2004. And Dunham has won their games this season by an average of 36 points. They have won 15 straight regular season games. The last time they've lost a regular season game, we were here for it. The season opener in 2017 when they lost to Central. They beat the Wildcats this season with Derek Stingley having a game-sealing interception. And Stingley also returned an interception for a touchdown. Stingley has had a very good season this year, even though he's missing this game. 13 total touchdowns, and again, the #1 recruit according to Rivals.com. But one thing that Neil Weiner will tell you about him is that he's a very humble guy and almost embarrassed by that top ranking that he has at this point. Let's go down to Smacker Miles, who had a chance to talk to David Masterson a few seconds ago.
Guys, he really wasn't too disappointed. He knows that they played hard in that first half. He did mention the 4 turnovers and how much of an issue that is. He talked about how the touchdown throw should have been theirs, and instead it ended up being capitalized on as a Dunham touchdown. So he was talking about that 14-point swing and how much of an issue that is, and just working on ball security and keeping their heads up and continuing to play hard in the second half. Jeff?
Thanks a lot. David Masterson has been here since 2000, and he goes back to that 2000 team. They went 1-9 that year, and he said that squad had a bunch of sophomores and young players, and a few years later in 2003 they went undefeated and got to the semifinals. That was a team that featured Trinidad Holiday.
Yeah, and what a real treat it is for Northeast to have a coach like Masterson. You see him over there. I mean, this guy's a colorful guy. He's fun to talk to. He's got a ton of enthusiasm. He loves his players, and his players like playing for him, and brings a wealth of experience to Northeast, having coached on the collegiate level as well. And you know what? This year, this is a difficult coaching job because we mentioned the young offensive line, but he's kind of holding it together. And I think if he can get Steele, kind of doing the things that he wants them to be doing in this second half, there's a possibility these guys could sneak back into this one.
Dunham will be kicking off. They got to get their 2 kickers on the field, Jason. They had their 1, but that's not enough for Dunham. They need to get both of them out there. Luke Russell along with Evan Light.
Well, I tell you what, some of these kicks tonight have been dangerous, and I don't know what the percentage of recovery for onside kicks are, but you figure, hey, at one point, odds may catch up with you, and you'll get one of them.
All they're looking for is a little seat. Well, here's a squib kick. Takes the high bounce on the ground, and the Vikings get it. Wow.
Well, that time Spurlock, #4, really had an opportunity to make a play on that ball. He just had to go get it. But again, as I mentioned to you, these balls are squibbing through here. Watch right on the end of this. #4 has an opportunity right there to go get the football and just got batted away at the last second.
Trevor Stofall able to fall on it. Good field position here for the Vikings as they begin the second half.
Well, here's Steele coming back into your screen. And again, what I think he needs to do, Jeff, is to be, better on first downs, maybe picking it up, scrambling a little bit, but getting them some positive yards on first down.
A lot of motion on this first play. And they wanted to run the option, but nothing happening at all there for Rashawn Steele. As Dunham able to shut him down. Dunham allowing just 12 points a game. They had a string of 16 quarters of scoreless football. That's pretty impressive. Their defensive coordinator, Randy Leindecker, and his motto is you got to have heart. And when you look at this Dunham defense, and you can see him on the screen, there's not many imposing players on that defensive side of the football. They just play with a lot of heart, and they get after it.
They play well as a unit. They know where each other is going to be on the field. They understand the calls and what Coach Leindecker is trying to do on each play.
Getting rid of it quickly, Jacent Scott, but he took the pass on a knee, and so he's down, brings up 3rd down and 6.
And again, I think this is out there for them most of the night. And, you saw the play on 1st down trying to get in the eye and run the option. But if you can do this, kind of line up there and get it to these skill players, because Dunham does not want to allow these receivers to get deep on them. So they're going to lay off of them. Those little underneath, little hitch routes are going to be there for them most of the night. This time more in press coverage.
On 3rd down, Steele gets out of the pocket. Throws across his body for a 1st down. Nice job, the grab by Jacoby Junis, who's been a 3-year starter on this Northeast team. But dangerous pass. Neil Weiner, I think he wanted a penalty there. I think maybe a legal man downfield, possibly.
Well, that's a lot of strength. You're going backwards. You're throwing off your back heel, throwing across your body, and really against the grain, which you're taught not to do, but good vision down there by Steele and able to get it to his guy.
At the 43-yard line, Junis only 5'8", 150 pounds. They try to run it, and nothing happened in there. Great job defensively.
I don't want to understand this. I mean, you get some positive momentum, and then you go right back to 1st down. You line up in the eye and try to run it at the teeth of this Dunham defense, and it's really just a lost play. It's like you got, you 2 downs to get a 1st down, because the first play is just being disrupted each time for this Northeast offense.
The senior Grant Rebel came shooting out of his 3-point stance and beat the center Riley Bernard. Coach David Masterson thinks Bernard will be a really good center before it's all said and done. He's the only guy in that offensive line, as there's a lot of motion going on that play. But to finish the story on Riley Bernard, Masterson thinks he's going to be really good when it's all said and done, and he likes finding a sophomore, put him at center, and let him develop there for the next 3 years. And he's the only lineman on that offensive line that actually played football last season. The other 4 guys, this is their first year of football. Basically, David Masterson scoured the halls, found the 4 biggest guys he can get, and they're out there this season.
Well, that's just tough to do. I mean, not only that, not having played football, but to come in and find chemistry where it's so difficult on the offensive line.
Steele on 2nd and 15, and nothing happening there. That's a drop pass by Jacent Scott. And it's now 3rd and 15.
Well, got to be careful with the football. Obviously, 4 turnovers already, and this time sort of a jailbreak here. They were trying to develop a screen, and by the time the ball got out there to Scott, he had 3-4 defenders around him. Good job by that Dunham defense kind of snuffing out what Northeast was trying to do on that play.
They need to get to the 33-yard line on this 3rd down play. Scott under all kinds of, or Steele under all kinds of pressure, and he goes down. Got back to the line of scrimmage, but that was about it.
Yeah, it's just
Grant Rebel, another tackle.
Just a rough night for Steele, because he's just not going to have enough time to drop back and really allow the play to develop. Again, you'll see here Dunham getting pressure almost immediately. Good job of escaping 2 defenders there, trying to keep his eyes down the field, but then another couple of defenders there for Dunham. So it's going to be a tough night. That's why I like him on the rollout. I like him trying to extend the pocket out either left or right and doing something on the run.
I think they're going to go for it on 4th down, or maybe just try to draw him off sides. And now Johnny Selders, the punter. Oh, what's going on here? Whistle before the snap.
Yeah, that did not look like it was going to pick up 15 yards.
Northeast calls a timeout.
A little confusion there. Again, 4th and 15, and almost looked like it was going to be a pitch play, unless Selders is also the punter, so he might have been trying to take the pitch and then going to punt it off the pitch.
So the Northeast Vikings are 2-4, but in these days of the non-select and select different brackets, with a losing record, you could still make the playoffs. In Northeast, they are in position to make the playoffs when you look at the 2A power ratings. They're at number 20. They obviously would go on the road in the first round. It could play. Actually, if the season ended right now, they would play the Capital Lions. They're at the 13 seed. Well, there's a look at the teams, Mansfield and Vinton and East Beauregard and Lakeside, which is up in North Louisiana. They're all battling for home field advantage in the first round of the playoffs on the 2A side. That punt gets the job done by Johnny Selders, and Dunham will have the ball to begin for the first time here in the second half at the 27-yard line.
Good look at Coach Neil Weiner there, and
22-yard punt.
Instructing his troops defensively.
This is the third head coaching job for Neil Weiner. Started over at Catholic Point Capee, then was at Zachary, and then made the move over here to Dunham. Still looking for that real deep run into the playoffs where they get into the semifinals with Coach Weiner on the sidelines, and this might be the year as Reed Godberry gets the run. And Quashawn Kelly picks up where he left off in the first half, gets another tackle.
Yeah, if he can get his ball club back healthy, and obviously Stingley and others at 100%, I do think, Jeff, this Dunham team could make a deep run.
2nd and 5, they go back to the ground, and this is Mouton, and almost took it to the house there. Big run.
Yeah, Mouton is really gutting this game out. Again, Wilson is hurt for them tonight, and so Mouton is going to be the guy, and he's had some real powerful runs. You can see it's like your more traditional running back, but these guys can be dangerous if you get Mouton and Wilson and others running the ball as a bevy of backs.
Another run by Mouton there, gets close to the first down. Last week, the Dunham Tigers rushed for 272 yards.
Well, and this is also Dunham just taking what the defense has given you. Obviously, Coach Weiner making these calls from the sideline, and if they're going to keep giving up these little alleys and holes left and right, they'll just keep running Mouton.
Dunham beat Capital 70-20 last week. With the grab there is Devin Taylor. Taylor down the sidelines. All the way up to the 32-yard line, and another first down is Dunham.
Well, Taylor's shown you his skill set tonight. I mean, he's a very gifted player, and shows you his balance and his strength right there. He's made some really good catches tonight and some runs after the catches, and this is another 13-yard pickup that just shows a little bit more grit and determination. But again, sloppy tackling for Northeast.
At the 33, they bring the blitz. Godberry gets rid of it. What a great adjustment on the ball by Taylor to bring it down.
Now this is a big-time catch here. I mean, this is big time. Yes, you deserve to slap yourself on the chest after this, because look, this is a bullet by Godberry, and it's thrown behind him. And watch the quick adjustment. It just comes out and plucks that ball out of the air. That takes incredible body control to do that, in good hands, and 16-yard gain there on the play.
1st and 10, back inside the red zone as Devin Taylor has had a big night, taking advantage of the opportunity here with Stingley out with the injury. Godberry over the middle, touchdown! Touchdown Tigers as Devin Taylor in the end zone.
Well, this drive was all of the skill players getting involved and really working together for Dunham. We saw Mouton kind of lead this drive off, carrying the ball out of the backfield, picking it up in big chunks. When they keyed in on Mouton, of course, Weiner adjusts, and then it's Devin Taylor that hurts you on the outside, and 3 consecutive catches in a row by Devin Taylor. And the last one here on a quick slant into the end zone. Credit Godberry for a quick throw, quick accurate throw, such that Taylor could easily walk into the end zone.
Evan Light on the extra point try, and it heads to the uprights, and it's good. Statement drive there in the second half as Dunham looks to put away the Northeast Vikings. 6:50 left to go in the third quarter. Dunham up by 19. This is Game Time on YurView.
Okay, listen up. I know you offer great auto rates, local agents, fast friendly claims, but do you want to be a legend? You got to get tough, kid. When I'm done with you, nothing's going to keep you down.
Great talk, Brett. Can we get back to your auto quote now?
All right, sure.
Great.
Get great auto rates and local agents at favrates.com from Farm Bureau Insurance.
How about some water?
No, thanks. I'm good.
I think that people want to be in West Feliciana because it's truly one of the unique parts of Louisiana. That if you live in West Feliciana, you can have it all. You can have a great lifestyle, a government that works for you and is open and transparent. You can have wonderful neighbors. You can have a great school. You can live in an environment that's free of fear from crime. We're less than 20 minutes from the Baton Rouge airport, 30 minutes from the state capitol. What we have in West Feliciana is a place where you really can have it all.
Dunham Tigers now up by 19 over the Northeast Vikings. Week 8 of the high school football season. Jeff Palermo, Jason Acquare, Smacker Miles down on the sidelines. As the Dunham Tigers looking to improve to 8-0 heading into the bye week. And then they get the Episcopal Knights in the regular season finale. And then they get ready for the playoffs in what they hope could be a trip to the Dome for this Dunham squad. There's a look at the ITI Technical College scoring drive. Devin Taylor has put on a show tonight with the 17-yard touchdown catch from Reed Godberry.
Yeah, and he had 3 grabs on that drive for 54 yards, and so Devin Taylor's really imposed his will at the wide receiver position tonight, and we knew someone else on offense was going to have to step up with Mr. Stingley out.
Lights kick and recovered as Northeast has done a nice job getting on these loose footballs as Alvin Stokes recovered that one. Let's send it out of the field and Smacker Miles.
Guys, just right there kicking was Evan Light. He's a senior, and he is their kicker, and he also has prosthetic legs. He was adopted, so they're actually not sure what happened to his legs, and he has a really great spirit about it. He actually says that it was a shark, or now that he lives in Louisiana, they moved here recently, he actually jokes that it was an alligator bite. So this is a really special kid who also wrestles and plays tennis. Coach Weiner said that he's a popular part of their team and a really central piece of their team and what they do, and especially on those special teams. Jeff?
Thanks a lot, Smacker. Yeah, I was watching a little YouTube video of him wrestling, and Jason, I would not want to be on the wrestling mat with him.
Well,
I think he'd take me down pretty quick.
Oh, yeah, I mean, if you get a guy there, operating with prosthetics and wrestling, that tells you this guy's determination and will, and I wouldn't get out there with him either, but I can tell you, I got something in common with him, the fact that I used to kick in college, and it's hard enough kicking without prosthetics. I mean, to be able to do that and get elevation on the football as a kicker is just incredible. What a fascinating story.
And he does not wrestle with the prosthetics. So he, just check it out. All you have to do is Google Evan Light, and it'll come up. It's pretty impressive stuff. There was a 15-yard penalty, or maybe a holding penalty there. We were busy. Holding penalty was the call on Northeast. Haven't seen too many flags in this game. And now it's first down and a long way for the Vikings. And going down is Steele as the Dunham Tigers defense really starting to flex their muscle there. Coben Leindecker leading the way.
Well, the offensive line is, they kind of hung in there a little bit in the first half, but you can see here, there's just, by the time that Steele gets the ball, you got Leindecker and the whole gang of them in there, and he's not having a second or two to really even get his eyes down the field, and that's just going to create for a tough night. You see Leindecker there, 5'11", 200 pounds. He's been involved in some turnovers here tonight, and real active. Got that cast on there, as you mentioned, but playing through it.
Coben Leindecker, son of Randy Leindecker. And he's probably one of the bigger guys on that defense at that 5'9", 220-pound size. Second down and a long way to go here for the Vikings. And this has been the problem for them. The second half has been a real challenge because of the lack of numbers. Steele has been running for his life. Another flag goes down and a big-time hit. Junis able to hang on to it, but he got hammered by Jordan Roberson.
Well, Jordan Roberson really just closed on the ball, and again, I got to credit my man Steele for just keeping plays alive and trying to do what he can. This time he does get it to his receiver, but Jordan Roberson just closed on that football so quickly, came up with a clean tackle. And Jeff, you might be jinxing us here. You said no flags, or it's been a somewhat clean game, and now we got a couple of them here in a row.
Kind of surprised Dunham is accepting these penalties. Maybe not. Yeah, I was going to say, they were starting to go back, but it's going to be third down in a long ways to begin with. Starting to become a jailbreak there. This offensive line, this young offensive line, having a hard time trying to.
That's going the other way here. Or did they just decline it? I think that's what happened. They just declined it, and, you know, they'll take third and forever. I think about 3rd and 32. I mean,
yeah.
Northeast has to get to the Dunham almost 40-yard line to pick up a first down.
Dunham looks like they're going to bring the blitz again. Steele gets rid of it quickly. Jacent Scott getting hit in all different directions over the middle. Ty Spurlock wrapped him up immediately, and it's going to be a 3-and-out for this Dunham defense.
Again, when you just can't get time to get the receivers deep, you're going to be left with a lot of this underneath stuff, because that's all you've got time in terms of holding up some of this defensive line play for Dunham. But as soon as Scott's able to get the ball, you see the Dunham defense corral him and able to bring him down. Rough night for that guy. I mean, you look, his jersey's torn, he's been beat up, he's been slung. You know, I mean, just the fact that he's been able to stand around and make a couple things happen has been positive. But you look at the front of that thing. If we call him Superman like Cam Newton, his cape has been torn tonight.
Northeast ran an extra player on the field, and a flag flies. So a legal substitution called on Northeast.
Substitution infraction against Northeast.
Wow, they're really backed up. I think the question now here is, can they even punt it to where they needed to get a first down? The Dunham return guys are lined up about where Northeast would have to get the ball to make a first down.
Selder's ready to punt this football away. I thought Dunham was offsides on that play. It's going to take a bounce and picked up here at the 33-yard line by Devin Taylor. Breaks one tackle. Big hit as he gets to midfield. And some more talking going on there between these two teams.
Well, actually,
that is a 30-yard return.
When you look at this collision, I really thought it was good sportsmanship by Taylor. I mean, 13 comes in there and makes a great hit, Scott, and Taylor just says, hey, man, look, you got me. You know, that's a heck of a hit. Watch here. I don't really think it was so much jawing them because they came close to our press box here, but a good move here by Taylor. He's really quick. He's really shifty. And I watched 13 just fly into the screen. Wow. and I mean, just launches his body. And I think he says, look, man, he's trying to, hey, you got me. You got me. That's a heck of a hit.
Yeah, that's a great hit there by Jacent Scott, who David Masterson says is the best receiver at Northeast in 15 years. They had a really good one. I mentioned that 2003 semifinal team with Trendon Holiday on it. There was a wide receiver back then, Aaron Brown, who was really good. And David Masterson says he might be better than that guy.
See Masterson over there trying to dial up his defense. Defensive line coach at the collegiate level.
2nd and 6. Mouton looking for some blocking and a nice open field tackle there. Great defensive play as he was brought down by the quarterback, getting a little action out there now. Rashawn Steele playing both ways.
Yeah, when you get to this level and you're talking about 2A football, you got to have a lot of players that are going to go both ways. The schools just aren't big. You don't have as many kids to choose from. And this time you see Steele converting from quarterback to linebacker and making the play.
Let's see if they go to number 2, Devin Taylor. Godberry rolling out, throws, intercepted. That was the turnover Northeast needed, and they'll have good field position as they're still kind of hanging around in this game. It was that another interception for
Kelly.
Quoshan Kelly. How about that?
Yeah, he's been all over the place, and you know, if you can get some pressure on Godberry, then that frees up Kelly to kind of be a rover back there, and there's really nobody better in the business. He is great at finding the football, and that's the second time after some pressure applied to Godberry, Kelly identifies the football and makes the play, makes the interception. We saw him make the other pick right before the end of the first half when Dunham was driving.
2 interceptions thrown by Godberry. Both of them have gone to Kelly. 10 interceptions on the season now for Godberry. And Steele running for his life again. I don't know how he's able to hang on to that football. Now throws it and it's caught. Look at this. And it's Jacoby Junis for a first down.
Well, I don't know if you want to call this Cam Newton or Ben Roethlisberger or
Brett Favre.
Or, yeah. Well, Brett Favre couldn't shed that many tackles. He'd hang around the pocket. But I tell you what, I mean, he had 3, 4 Dunham guys hanging off of him. You talk about strength. Now, Dunham had a quarterback last year by the name of Mike Williams that would do this kind of stuff, but he's got him corralled and able to, the strength to get that football off. And, again, those are the types of plays that Steele has made tonight to just keep him in the game.
20-yard completion there. Now they're going to run the option. Steele will keep it, and now he pitches it. And it develops into a nice little play here on first down by Deontay Fisher.
Well, this is improv now by Steele because, again, couldn't bring him down, and really he had decided not to go with the pitch man. Obviously, I thought this was another bad read. He should have pitched it to 5 when the defensive end cracks down like that, but able to use his strength and stay alive and able to get it to his pitch guy and Fisher.
Well, Rashawn Steele putting on a show here.
I tell you what, he's going to need an ice bath in the morning.
All right, Alvin Stokes in the backfield with him. Jacent Scott is the wide receiver all the way to the left of your screen. And at that time, I think he was just exhausted. Well, he couldn't get the ball to Selders.
Yeah, he darted it. I mean, he this time, instead of trying to just throw the ball, he tried to dart it, and you can't throw the football like that. It'll fail on you every time. And just trying to flick it out there to his skilled players. But, yes, obviously the amount of abuse he's taken tonight, the hits, the shots, I'm sure he's tired.
2nd down and 2. Scott's throw, and that is complete. And that is a first down on 3rd and 2. Jacent Scott with the grab. And then change the yard marker on the other side. There is a flag, though.
Got another hanky out here. And let's see, they're pointing against Northeast.
I think there's the fatigue that's kind of settling in. These guys just trying to grab at anything to keep the rush off of Steele.
Yeah, that's unfortunate because that would have been probably a first down there. And now putting you in a 3rd and 13 situation. But clearly four down territory here. So, look, you don't necessarily have to pick it all up. Try to make this thing a little bit more manageable.
Yard marker still reading 2nd down on the far side.
And again, lined up in the eye here.
Well, what's going on here? I don't think they were set, or I don't know if the referees were ready.
I get what Masterson's trying to do. He's trying to run that play-action fake out of the eye, but my concern would be by the time he gets out of his bootleg, you're going to have 4 or 5 Dunham Tigers in his face and just not enough time to throw the football.
All right, we got the yard markers correct on the far side.
And I bet you he goes back to the shotgun here. I think he identified that.
David Masterson really
looks happy over there, huh, Jeff?
Yeah.
Not his old jovial self that time.
3rd down and 14. Yeah, back in the shotgun formation as you predicted.
And again, I mean, Scott and Selders, those are their guys, and they're playing press coverage on them.
Steele is going to try to run for it. Stiff arm, and now just heaves it up in the air. That's an easy interception. Another turnover in this game. Jordan Roberson wants to take it to the house. Man, look how fast Gisette Scott is.
Wow.
He came out of a cannon.
Yeah, he did. As impressive as the play was there for Dunham. Look, this time Steele, just you need to understand where you are in the football field, where you are in the game. He did not have to force this ball. It wasn't fourth down, it's third down. But again, just trying to understand, trying to make something happen. But then when you throw a pop-up like that, you get it picked off, and looks like it's going to be about a 44-yard return by Roberson. But here you go, Jeff. This is what you were talking about. Impressive. He thinks I'm going to the end zone. Not so fast, young man. He shot out of a cannon.
Well, David Masterson said Scott was the fastest guy on the team. I think he might be one of the fastest players in the state. That was impressive to chase down Roberson, who's back out there defensively. A guy that's been out for a long time, and Roberson's got 4.6 speed, so
yeah,
he's not a mutter out there. He's galloping too, so that will be the end of our third quarter. Just one touchdown in this third quarter done by Dunham on their first drive, and they lead it 31-12 as the Tigers look to go 8-0 on the season. We'll be back after this here on Game Time.
When I tore my ACL, I didn't think I'd ever be able to play soccer again. My doctor told me how important physical therapy would be, so I chose Peak. I'm glad I did. Now I'm stronger, faster, better than ever. Choose Peak.
Choose Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
When I get back to Baton Rouge, I get in my Bluesmobile and I drive right on down to Partner's Barbecue. And you know what I do? I get me some ribs, all tender too. Some baked beans, some potato salad, some smoked sausage. You got to come on down to Partner's Barbecue, yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
President Trump's new campaign slogan, promises made, promises kept. When appointed, Kyle Ardoin promised not to be a candidate for Secretary of State. Kyle immediately broke his promise. Like President Trump, Representative Rick Edmonds keeps his word. Endorsed by conservatives for his fight against voter fraud, vote buying, and illegal aliens voting. Voted no to all of Governor Edwards' tax increases. It's what Rick promised.
I'll fight to protect your ballot, just like I fought to protect your wallet.
Rick Edmonds, Secretary of State.
Exercising is my life, so when I had to stop because of my foot and ankle pain, I was absolutely devastated. I chose Peak, and they taught me how to relieve the pain. They really do bring out the athlete in everyone. Choose Peak.
Choose Peak Performance Physical Therapy.
12 more minutes to go in this one. Second down and 2 with the Dunham Tigers leading Northeast 31-12. 5 turnovers committed by the Vikings in this game, and that's really the story of the contest. Reed Godberry's got a man in motion. That's Devin Taylor, who's had a huge game. He hands it off to Traylon Mouton. Mouton is brought down shy of the first down.
Well, here's a good example of Dunham. A good play there by Northeast, but you mentioned Coach Weiner only running a couple plays, but they run them out of so many different formations. That time you bring Devin Taylor in the backfield, show a different look, and then you run your traditional play there to Mouton off tackle.
Third down and 1. Taylor lined up on the slot, closest to the left tackle. 6 catches for 114 yards. They throw away from him, and there's a first down. Nick Cambias, who's got a few catches on tonight. And he's got a first down at the 25-yard line.
Well, this is, again, just having confidence in your quarterback, confidence in your receivers, because 3rd and 1, got a big back like Mouton back there, but the defense is playing off a little bit. Godberry reads it, gets the ball out there quickly. Sure, it's tipped, but good concentration by Cambias off of a tip ball, and Dunham on the move again.
Yeah, another injury tonight for Dunham. Another player they're playing without as Mouton is brought down fairly quickly. Chad Falgu, who's their best offensive lineman, he's not out there either. He's been walking around on crutches tonight.
Yeah, and you can't miss him. I mean, he is a big boy on the sideline. And, you know, again, that's part of those injuries that we're talking about that Dunham has. If they can get him healthy, get their other running back healthy, of course, Stingley back in it, and Mouton carrying the ball well, this would be a dangerous football team.
Kalante Wilson expected to miss a few weeks, the leading rusher on this team. Ball tipped at the line, and then it ended up going behind Cambius.
There he is right there on your screen, Falgoose, and you can see he's a big boy. I mean, he's looking over that fence without even – he had some height on him.
Third down and about 9. Godberry keeps it on the read option. Godberry to the 5, touchdown. Reed Godberry into the end zone. His third rushing touchdown of the season.
Good run there by Godberry. Thought maybe Dunham got away with a block in the back right as he was making his last cut there to the end zone. But nevertheless, Godberry has shown his ability to run the football. Good, tough runner, but watch right here late. Coming into your screen, maybe laid off of him. But nevertheless, Godberry able to get that ball into the end zone off that read option. And that play's been there a couple of times tonight, and Godberry's been able to take advantage of it.
Luke Russell on the extra point try as Dunham has pulled away now from the Vikings, who remain scoreless in the second half. And Russell's extra point is no good as he missed it to the right. 10:25 left to go in this one. The Dunham Tigers leading the Northeast Vikings 37-12. Rashawn Steele and that Vikings offense ready to come back out on the field. But Godberry gets in the end zone again.
Tonight's Game Time Play of the Game is brought to you by Podna's Barbecue. Slow cooked, fall off the bone perfection, and the best baked beans in America.
I'm at the Washington Street exit. This is the only place in the United States where the interstate system funnels down to one lane. There's a reason for that. It's stupid.
So, Congressman Garrett Graves is working on fixing stupid. Graves fought to increase our share of highway dollars by $500 million and created a grant to fix the Washington Street exit, expand I-10, and upgrade I-12. Congressman Garrett Graves, making traffic improvements a reality when others couldn't get it done.
I'm Garrett Graves, and I approve this message.
Tonight's Game Time League standings are brought to you by the best place for you to live and work in South Louisiana is West Feliciana Parish. Check out wfparish.org. West Feliciana Parish, where you really can have it all.
24 yards for his third touchdown of the season. His previous long run was 26 yards. So nearly a season high as far as rushing the football. Evan Light's sky kick taken at the 40, and the man who caught it ended up backpedaling on it and ended up losing a few yards as Ty Spurlock makes the tackle.
Who knows, maybe even the kicking game will change after all these inventive kicks here that Coach Weiner has on special teams, not knowing if you're going to go left, right, so it really makes it difficult to know how to line up.
First down and 10 coming up here for Northeast as Neil Weiner looks on. First and 10 at the 37. Northeast will be back home next week against Church Academy. Have the football here at the 37-yard line as Rashawn Scott's pass is caught into double coverage, and Jacent Scott with the grab.
But, Jeff, it just makes you wonder if Northeast had the type of protection they needed up front. I mean, on that last throw, you can see that Steele has a lively arm late in the game after taking a lot of hits. I mean, he's got some zip on the ball. And then we mentioned Scott, how talented he is and how quick he is. And you see there Steele's numbers on the night, 9 of 16, 109. But what's not showing up on that stat line is how much duress and pressure he has been under on each play, and how he's had to improvise just to be able to get the ball downfield.
This Dunham defense is pitching a shutout in the second half. More on this Ant-Man defense. We go down to the field and Smacker Miles.
They have earned this name of Ant-Man defense because they are all over the place like ants are. As you can see the sign behind me, it's something that the school is pretty excited about. It's because there's a big defensive line and there's small linebackers behind those D linemen. Coach Weiner said that it's not a group that has little man syndrome. They're very aggressive, and it's something that's really been a theme for this team and helped them play at a high level for each game. Jeff?
Well, right on cue, Smacker. They brought the blitz with those small linebackers, and they get to Steele to set up third down and long.
Well, the Ants come marching in on this play because, look, I mean, just sending a lot of pressure. And, look, they know that this offensive line here is struggling, and they just keep bringing different blitz packages and lining up and shooting gaps. And that's so difficult for an offensive line. Nevertheless, a new one, but just to be able to pick up all of those different reads, when linebackers are coming, when they're not, when the blitz is coming, and who to pick up.
Might have said that was second down. Now it's second down, 2nd and 15 at the 44-yard line. 5 sophomores on that offensive line for Northeast. That pass is complete. And Jacent Scott making another grab. But Coach Masterson told me before the game, if he can keep this sophomore group together, he thinks they'll be really special by the time they're seniors.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're going through their growing pains, and you mentioned it. In his first season here, he's used to it. He only won one game and was able to get his guys playing his system, understanding what he wants to do, and then moving them deep into the playoffs.
Junis, that was a tough catch there. That ball had a little mustard on it and unable to make the grab. There's a kid we really haven't mentioned too much about, number 4, Jerome Thompson. He's a freshman on this Northeast team who's got a lot of potential. Masterson's really high on him. So that's part of the future for this Vikings team, and I think they're going to go for it here on 4th down, I think.
Yeah, 4th and 8, nothing really here to lose. I mean,
.803 to go here. Well, I don't know what happened there. They didn't get the snap. That's what happened.
Yeah, again, just miscommunication. Obviously, Masterson talking to Steele, but the offensive line not real sure what was going on. He wanted the calling for the ball, but nothing. The ball wasn't snapped.
Well, they're picking up the flag, I think.
Dead ball.
Well, maybe not.
Offsides.
Oh.
On the defense. 5 yards. Still 4th down.
Well, this will make it a little easier. It'll be, instead of 4th and 8, it'll be 4th and 3.
Now it makes the decision easy to go for it.
Again, my option here is I'm going to look for 11 or 13. Try to get those guys out wide.
Yeah, it's a shame that Derek Stingley's not playing in this game because it would be a great matchup between him and Jacent Scott, the all-state wide receiver that's at the top of your screen. He's had a really nice game here tonight. Low snap, ruins the timing of the play. Doesn't matter. Rashawn Steele has got the first down over to the 34-yard line.
Well, and that's the other thing Steele's had to deal with. I mean, look, it's not going to be a pretty night, but without somebody as talented as him, these snaps are on the ground most of the night, and not only is he having to deal with a lot of pressure, but he's having to scoop up the snaps off the ground each play and then get up and be able to read the defense. And good job there on that option play to go out there and get the first down.
1st and 10 at the 34. Clock rolling. Northeast still looking for their first points of the second half as they are down by 25. Steele, well, ball I think just slipped out of his hands, and it's going to be another turnover. 6 turnovers on the night.
Well, it looked like he was trying to throw the football, and I'm not sure exactly when it slipped out his hand. You know, was his arm going forward, and was it a complete pass, or did it come out of his hand when he was in it going in his windup? Yeah, it did. It really did, and wow.
Brett Guidry gets the easy fumble recovery there.
Well, it's kind of been type of night Northeast is having, you know, as they start getting some momentum, things like that happen. And then look, it's just a long night for that kid, and he doesn't need to hold his head down. He's played tough, and he's kind of grinded through, giving his team at least some opportunities.
Nick Swear on the carry. Trevor Stovall, who returned a fumble, 88 yards for a touchdown against Port Allen, a junior on the Northeast defense, who's been in a lot of tackles tonight, makes the stop there. 2nd down and 6.
Good look at Red Guidry there, the son of Mickey Guidry. A lot of people remember from around LSU country, was a quarterback at LSU and down here cheering on his son.
Quoshan Kelly in on another stop. Kelly was a defensive lineman, but I kind of like him as a linebacker. Man, he gets through the hole quickly.
Yeah, no, I like that.
Gets all over the field. He's got an interception on the game. He's got 2 interceptions.
I think he needs to play in space like that.
Nick Swear, nice run on 3rd down to pick up the 1st down to the 40-yard line.
I see Swear coming in here and giving Mouton some relief. And I tell you what, pick up a 15 yards here for Swear. And when he's come in the game, he's done a good job carrying the football. He's not quite as big, and it's a little more difficult to see him in that line of scrimmage.
He's averaging nearly 8 yards a carry coming into this game. Northeast got a bunch of guys up at the line of scrimmage. Godberry will run it and dive ahead for about 6. Maybe 5.
Now, Coach Weiner here is thinking, hey, let's just grind this thing out. Let me try to get no more injuries on the night. And, you know, let's see if we can maintain possession of the football, don't turn it over, and see if we can get out of here with a win. But they'll try to milk a lot of this remaining 5 minutes off the clock here.
Swear running again. Swear into that Northeast secondary, and fresh legs out there at least running the football. Swear also plays linebacker, but it looks like he's got a little giddy up to him.
Yeah, another good 17-yard pickup here by Swear, and not just fresh legs on offense, but Jeff, you got some tired legs on defense because this Northeast defense has been on the field much of the night.
At the 19-yard line, Dunham again averaging 49 points a game, getting closer to that average. Godberry takes the high snap. Good job by that offensive line, pushing back the front of Northeast. And Quoshan Kelly makes the tackle.
7-yard gain on the play. 2nd down and 3 to go.
Again, I mean, Godberry's not the fastest, but impressed with how tough he's been running the ball.
Next week we'll be at Denham for a 5A matchup between the Wildcats and the Denham Springs Yellow Jackets. Godberry gets into the end zone again.
Well, that's his 2nd one on that quarterback keeper, and really the last couple of plays here, Godberry's just taking matters into his own hands. You bring a new back in here, Swear, doing a lot of read option with him, but this has been all Swear and all Godberry on this drive, and you know, really just thinking, hey, we're going to kind of grind it out and crank this clock out. But with the tough running of Swear, and right here, Godberry, good vision, getting through the holes and doing what he needs to do to get in the end zone.
Injured Northeast player down in the end zone. And that is Quoshan Kelly, who probably not a surprise, has some cramping issue. Again, next week's game will be at Denham Springs for the Yellow Jackets and the Central Wildcats. Maybe Fall will be here next Friday, Jason. Maybe we can break out the long sleeve shirts.
Yeah, I hope so, Jeff. Bring a lot of Chicago weather down here with you, buddy.
But Central, Sid Edwards, not much was expected out of them, but they're having a really good season.
Yeah, and he's another one of those coaches that's been around for a while, and yeah, you have those coaches out here in high school football, and maybe a down year, but they just know how to get the best out of their players, put them in the right position. And you mentioned Sid Edwards is doing a good job of that at Central.
Denham Springs, they are 4-4 on the season. Second-year head coach Bill Conades trying to build that Denham program up. Tell you, a team that's taken some lumps this year is Live Oak. We saw them back in West Fleet. They've had a couple of tough losses. They lost to Central.
Well, the top of the class out there may be Walker.
Yeah. Well, as Evan Light gets the extra point, let's take a look at the 5A power ratings involving the teams that will be showing you next week, Denham Springs and Central. So Central's in at number 21. They have, for the most part, secured a playoff spot, as long as the wheels don't fall off the truck. But Denham Springs, they got to keep winning. They got to get a couple wins maybe to make sure they get into playoffs at number 30. Again, top 32 teams make it. But you got Live Oak over there. You got Dutchtown, Guy Mastretta's team. Hanville Tigers, it's been a challenging season with them with all the legal drama involving their quarterback who is not playing this year because he's ineligible. But Hanville's in the discussion as well. So that's a look at the bottom of the 5A ratings. We'll see how they look different next week when we're in Denham Springs. Nice return here.
There's your boy Scott showing off his speed.
Yeah, just Scott with the return. Let's go down to the field and Smacker Miles. Smacker.
Guys, we've talked about him all broadcast. We finally get to talk to him. This is Derek Stingley from Dunham. He's a DB. He also plays receiver in high school, but he'll be a DB in college. Are you excited to specialize a little bit?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited to finally play one side of the ball after I'm done with all this. So.
Your coach really bragged on you when we talked to him this week. What are you going to add to that LSU team when you get there?
A sense of leadership, because I know that I'll go on the field and just lead by example.
To be the latest boot boy that's a top commit, a top recruit, get to LSU, what does it mean to you to represent Louisiana like that?
It means a lot because I know people are looking at me as like a figure for LSU, so I know I can talk to other players who are on the edge of coming or not, and they'll like listen to me.
Coach Weiner shared a really special story with us this week that you were talking at a camp to some young kids, and you said they asked you a question about staying at LSU, and you said, so I can play in front of you guys. What did you mean by that?
Well, I wanted to stay in front of my family and friends. I want to make a play and like just look out in the crowd and perhaps see them. And I don't know, I just always dreamed about that ever since I was a little kid.
Thanks, Derek. Good luck.
Thank you.
Jeff?
Thanks a lot, Smacker. Good interview with the #1 rated player in the state, in the country, according to Rivals.com, and 24/7 he's rated as the 5th best player.
Well, I'll tell you what, I mean, good job by Coach Ogeron and his staff getting that young man to stay here in LSU. But this is not just a tremendous football player. He comes from a tremendous family, and here's another little football coach that used to coach at LSU and has some affiliation with our sideline report. I wonder what he said. Smack, I don't know. Should we give him a mic there?
And a top commit.
Yeah, well, no, certainly, yes. I mean, obviously, a tremendous prospect and a lot of fun to watch. So.
How important to you was it to have some Louisiana guys passionate about the state they're from and come to play for you?
I'm just impressed with how well he handled the interview. He just did a great job. He's not only going to bring the ability to backpedal and play the ball over his head. He is going to be able to lead and communicate and do all those things. What a wonderful representative of the boot.
Thank you. Jeff?
Thanks a lot, Smacker. It was Les Miles that offered as this ball is on the ground again, and it's on the ground again. That's 7 turnovers. Oh, boy. And that time it was recovered by Matt Weiner, the son of Coach Neil Weiner. But Les Miles offered Derek Stingley a scholarship when he was a freshman. So Les is obviously very familiar with Little Sting. Let's look at this play again, Jason.
Yeah, this time actually a good snap, but Steele just took his eyes off the ball, and you know, in some ways I don't blame him. He's got to not just worry about catching the ball, but he's got to figure out how fast those rushers are going to be on top of him and where they're coming from, and, you know, just not concentrating fully on the snap.
A little bit more of a new running back out there now for the Dunham Tigers, and that is Jake Ledette. One of the things I asked, continuing on Derek Stingley, and it's always good when Coach Miles shows up in the fourth quarter of these blowout games. He eats up a little time, but
and grass.
But one of the things I asked Neil Weiner about Derek Stingley is his football IQ is just at a different level. Always asking, not necessarily asking, as we got a new quarterback out there too for the Dunham Tigers, and that's Jordy Melera, but asking really high-level questions, and if they do a different scheme or run a certain lineup a certain way against an offense, the questions that he asks really impresses Coach Weiner.
Well, and it's not just his physical ability and his size and everything and his speed. Derek Stingley brings a set of intangibles with you, and I think that factors in to him being one of the top recruits in the country, and that's, as he talked about, his leadership, his understanding of the football game, and very rarely will I say that there is a player in high school football that could step onto a college field day one, but Stingley is that type of athlete that can do that. And there's my man Kelly coming to lay the boom again. We've seen him all over the field tonight, and I know you got some new players out on the field, but if you're Dunham, you better have an eye on number 10 because he's not done yet.
He's playing the full 48 minutes in this game. One other thing about Derek Stingley, can he line up as a punt returner against Alabama, Jason? Because they need a punt returner.
Yeah, and talking to his dad as you were out there with me, Jeff, before the game, let him make the call here.
That's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, still third down.
He says he's very interested in returning punts at the next level, not so much kickoffs. And the other thing that shocked me is, and you heard it from Stingley himself, is he's now very motivated just to be able to focus on one side of the football. You know, he mentioned out here he's got to understand what the offense is doing, defense, but I think this guy here is going to be one of the best corners in the business come soon.
There will be a spot for him with Greedy Williams most likely heading to the NFL after this season.
Wow, it's been that fast.
Yeah.
It's been 3 years. This is his junior year.
And Christian Fulton could go to the NFL too after this year as well. So there would definitely be a need for him to get some early playing time. Dunham just trying to run out the clock here as much as they can. Let's take a look at our play of the game in this one. Reed Godberry had a nice night tonight, throwing and running the football. He got in the end zone twice, rushing it.
Podna's Barbecue. Slow cooked, fall off the bone perfection, and the best baked beans in America.
Reed Godberry, 2 passing touchdowns and 2 rushing touchdowns. Look at the moves here on our Podna's Barbecue play of the game.
Well, we knew he had the ability to run the football as well as throw it. And, you know, in this offense, that's what Coach Weiner sees, and that's what Godberry reads over there on the offensive side. He has the ability to pull it down and pick up some big yards, run the football. And as you mentioned, Jeff just showed him there twice, putting it in the end zone.
Northeast gets the ball back on downs. And so Rashawn Steele will finish off the final minute 20 here, looking to try to make something happen. Lofts one. That's oh my. That could have been turnover number 8. I don't know if I've done a game where a team has turned it over 8 times. I don't know if I've done a game where a team's turned it over 7 times.
That's a lot of turnovers, my friend. It's hard to win like that.
Well, game time on Your Louisiana. Thanks, Louisiana Lift, for their support of this telecast, specializing in customer service on equipment, rentals, parts, and training. Louisiana Lift has been serving its customers since 1980. You can check them out online at lalift.com or call their Baton Rouge office, 753-5700, or the New Orleans area office, 504-463-3400. Well, Steele is trying to throw that interception, it seems like.
Yeah, just trying to force it down the field, and at this point, just trying to see if he can get it to anybody down there. And this, again, just been a rough night. His jersey is beat up, it's torn, and been under duress all night. And I don't know if he's going to have that jersey may have to be retired at the end of this game. I don't even know if you can sew that sucker back together.
No. 3rd down and 9. The Ant-Man defense has been hanging all over him tonight. Going deep and incomplete for Jacent Scott.
Pass incomplete. 4th down.
One more opportunity here for Northeast, and that will do it. Northeast will fall to 2 and 5. But when you look at their remaining schedule, they got Church Academy. That's a team that hasn't won a game this year. They can get a win there. And then they wrap it up against East Feliciana, another team that is beatable. And they can finish this thing 4 and 5 and go into the playoffs and take their chances there. Northeast trying to get the right personnel out there. Jacent Scott has left the game. So they need to get a different wide receiver. Steele goes the other way, and there it is. 8 turnovers on the night. Jordy Malera. Wow.
Good job there by just going up and identifying the football at its highest point there.
Let's take a look at our player of the game in this one, and he was really impressive. Somebody had to step up with Derek Stingley not playing, and it was Devin Taylor.
Yeah, he's been good all night, and really, there you saw him catching the pitch there from Godberry, but this is where he was explosive at the wide receiver position, getting out on the edges. He caught him deep, he caught him over the middle, he caught him long, and caught him out in space and got him into the end zone a couple of times tonight, and really, I think he set the tone for them offensively with Godberry.
Well, after getting the interception, Malera runs the football up to the 32-yard line, and I think that will probably, well, maybe not. I was thinking that might be our final play of the game as you look at Devin Taylor. He's a junior, and he's certainly a kid at his size. You put him in the slot.
He's got that type of feel, yeah.
They put him in the slot, and that guy can play at the next level.
Yeah. Big game for Taylor.
Yeah, it was. It was. And you could tell Dunham's got the pieces to make a really good run and possibly end up at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. Key for them is to stay at number 3. Notre Dame's going to be at number 1 in those power ratings. You don't want to get to number 4 and face Notre Dame in the semifinals. You want to face them in the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. Win number 102 for Neil Weiner in his 5th season at Dunham, the son of the Hall of Fame coach Dale Weiner. Last year they went 9-2, and now they are 8-0 on the season. And they'll play again in 2 weeks. They got a bye next week, and it really comes at a good time because you got Episcopal, which will be like a playoff game. Really, the district championship will be on the line in that game. And you enter the playoffs. So really good time for a bye week for them.
And it'll give them an opportunity to get some of these players healthy. They're missing several.
Yeah, and that was another reason why Derek Stingley sat out. You didn't have a game next week, and you got a chance to give him 2 weeks to get that knee injury all figured out. And there's David Masterson, and talking with Randy Leindecker, the defensive coordinator for the Dunham Tigers. And the hope is for Coach Masterson that the young puppies that he's got on that team will grow up quick. Let's go down in the field and hear from Smecker Miles, who's got Neil Weiner.
Coach, you told us before the game how you have talent all over the field, even without Derek tonight. That really showed.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we got some playmakers. Devin Taylor was really good and made some great catches in traffic. You know, I wish Traylin's ankle was feeling strong because he could have showed a little bit more of his top-end speed, but he had some nice, tough runs. And then Nick Swear came in and ran the ball well, but our defense was awesome.
You're undefeated late in the season, definitely developed yourselves as a serious Division III title contender. What does your team need to improve on?
Well, I just think every single day we need to get better at being consistent in practice. You know, we kind of got ups and downs, and the best teams, they block out all that extra stuff and just focus on what they're doing each day. So I think if we can continue to do that, we'll be in good position at the end of the season.
Thanks, Coach. Jeff?
That is 16 straight regular season victories now for the Dunham Tigers. 44-12, our final score. We'll wrap things up when we come back. This is Game Time on YurView.
Tonight's Game Time Player of the Game is brought to you by Peak Performance. At Peak Performance Physical Therapy, we treat the athlete and everyone. Stronger, faster, better. Choose Peak. Check out the stories behind the games. Visit yourview.com/Louisiana.
Okay, listen up. I know you offer great auto rates, local agents, fast, friendly claims, but do you want to be a legend? You got to get tough, kid. When I'm done with you, nothing's going to keep you down.
Great talk, Brett. Can we get back to your auto quote now?
All right, sure.
Great.
Get great auto rates and local agents at favrates.com from Farm Bureau Insurance.
How about some water?
No, thanks. I'm good.
I think that people want to be in West Feliciana because it's truly one of the unique parts of Louisiana. That if you live in West Feliciana, you can have it all. You can have a great lifestyle, a government that works for you and is open and transparent. You can have wonderful neighbors. You can have a great school. You can live in an environment that's free of fear from crime. We're less than 20 minutes from the Baton Rouge airport, 30 minutes from the state capitol. What we have in West Feliciana is a place where you really can have it all.
When company comes to town,
company's coming!
We go all out. All you gotta do is get down here and visit Baton Rouge.
Back here at Dunham, where the Dunham Tigers improved to 8-0 on the season with a convincing win over the Northeast Vikings, 44-12, the final score on senior night. No Derek Stingley tonight for the Dunham Tigers, but we saw some other playmakers for them. Coach Neil Weiner talked about the talent that they have on this Dunham team. It's just not a one-person show, and we saw that tonight.
No, and we saw a trio of Dunham Tigers really step up, starting with their leader at quarterback, Godberry, and Traylon Mouton got going, and then Devin Taylor just had a great game on the edges, pulling down balls and catching them from all directions. So you can see how this offense can still remain efficient and consistent without Stingley in the game, but it gets just that much more explosive when he comes back.
The defense came into this game allowing just 12 points a contest. That average will stay put because they only gave up 12 points here tonight, and a shutout in the second half as Northeast was hanging around in this game. Dunham put it away with the opening drive in the third quarter and never looked back after that. That's going to do it for tonight's broadcast here as the Dunham Tigers get the victory over the Northeast Vikings, 44-12, the final score. Want to thank everyone involved in this broadcast as we had Walter Volpatti, our director. The executive producer of Game Time on YurView is Eric Coleman. Our producer in the truck, Kim Keon, doing an outstanding job. Smacker Miles along with Les Miles down on the field. And for Jason DeQueer, I'm Jeff Palermo. We'll see you next week. We'll be at Denham Springs for Denham and the Central Wildcats. A big matchup in 5A as two teams fighting for a playoff spot in the 5A playoffs. Dunham Tigers victorious. They're 8-0 on the season. Thanks for watching. Stick around. Lottery drawings coming up. Mega Millions, $1 billion. Thanks for watching here on YurView.
Game Time on YurView was brought to you by Louisiana Farm Bureau Insurance, ready to serve you with auto, homeowners, life insurance, and more. Real service, real people. West Feliciana Parish. The best place for you to live and work in South Louisiana is West Feliciana Parish. Check out wfparish.org. ITI Technical College, your key to a better life. And by Peak Performance. At Peak Performance Physical Therapy, we treat the athlete and everyone. Stronger, faster, better.
Well, I've had back pain now and then, but it got so bad I couldn't even